And the Dockers have just charged out onto Metricon Stadium. It looks like the rain, the little drizzle, annoying kind of drizzle, has just stopped. But we'll catch up with Belinda Mellon downstairs for Bob Jane Teamarts in a moment to get the full ground and weather conditions. The Suns were the first out. They're just going through a few drills at the moment. Charles got the bib on, so it looks like they're working on some forward and ruck craft. Up there to the left of the radio dial, they're warming up to the right. The high-flying Dockers, flag mantle. If you're a die-hard Dockers fan, they're getting pretty excited about their season so far. Getting a tattoo a bit premature, do you think, at round 9 there, Simon Black?
Would have thought so, mate. What do you suggest?
Yeah, perhaps, although most are leaving it open-ended with no year on it. So it's Brett Thomas, Richard Champion, Simon Black with you here for this round 9 game. And Champs, you called the Suns and Swans last week. And the question always is, we kind of get to this point of the year and we think the Suns have improved. Have they improved? Are they a different side, do you think, to years gone past?
They've improved in the last 4 years, absolutely, yeah. And given their outs at the moment, I mean, they're a bit depleted at the moment.
Yep.
King, a classic example. Lukosius, of course, is out today. Jared Witch was out last year, but he's back in. So, and, you know, Casbolt's come in, Charles come in. So there's a couple of really good ins for them this year. But overall, generally, yes, they have improved. And they beat Carlton, who are a good team, in round 4 here. That was really good. Good win against Sydney last week, who, based on their form last night, was a really good win for them. They've got a good record at the SCG. So I think given their depleted side at the moment, they are travelling as well as they should be expected. And they'll give Freo a run for their money today.
Yep.
Especially these wet, slippery conditions will just bring everything back a little bit. They used the footy really well. Rankin was good last week, didn't get a heap of the footy, but his assists were really good in setting some teammates up, kicked a couple himself. So they weren't relying on Chol and Casbolt to kick their big goals. They shared it around really well. It was really impressive.
I think Ben Ainsworth has improved as well. We'll talk about some of the matchups that we're looking forward to today, especially in the middle. Big Wits and big Sean Darcy. Geez, that's a couple 100 kilos of ruckman combining in the centre bounce today and certainly getting both of their sides forward out of the middle. But for Bob Jane Teamarts, I've just been told by Jack up the back there might be a late change that Belinda Mellon wants to tell us about. G'day, B.
G'day, gentlemen. Yes, there is a late change for the Gold Coast Suns. Not in their playing stocks, but Reece Shaw, the assistant coach, is out under...
For the Suns, you mean?
Yes, for the Suns, for the health and safety protocol. And their media manager, Thomas Beverley, is going to act as their runner today. So
wow.
That is multitasking. As far as the players go, though, the Gold Coast Suns and the Freo Dockers have no late changes. McPherson is the medi-sub for the Suns, and for the Dockers it is Walker. The weather down here, boys, well, this is actually a lottery. The lights are on, which they would normally not be for a 1:45 game. The sky is right now blue, but I am sodden from sitting in rain. It's also 90% humidity, so I'm sweating with the heat. It's lovely. And I look forward to spending the day on the boundary here and just giving you regular weather updates, because who knows, anything goes, I think.
And you've got the new
sounds quite comfortable down there, doesn't it?
Esme Watson-inspired glasses on today, the pink rimmed. Are they fogging up at the moment? It does feel a bit muggy, B.
Yeah, they are. Old age is a beautiful thing, isn't it? Champs can tell you all about it.
Shut up.
I'm going to get some strategies from him later.
You sure can, Mel.
Thank you, B. Bob Jane Teamarts, by the way, buy a set of 4 monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph's camper trailer.
At least she doesn't have to wear the adult nappies just yet, so that's
no chance.
Good. Hey, just again on a somber note, I know we paid tribute to Andrew Roy Simons a little bit earlier on, but a good friend of ours and a friend of the Brisbane Bears and Lions back in Blackie and my day.
Trained with the Broncos at one point, Andrew Simons.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Was also the passing yesterday of Alan Doc McConnell, who passed away. He was our doctor at the club for a long time, is a life member of Southport Footy Club and was there for a long time as well. So RIP to Doc. Doc McKenzie, we will miss him as well, but had a fantastic career and the footy world's lost a beauty there also.
Yeah, well said, Champs. Very well said indeed. All right, as the players go through their warm-ups there, Blackie, for SKG Radiology, now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. Tell us about some of the matchups you're looking forward to watching this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the ruck battle. Darcy and Witts, both players ranked very high in hit-house to advantage. And look, you'd suspect it's going to be a real contested ball battle for the Suns. Look, the 3 wins they've had this year, they've won the contested ball, and the 5 they've lost contested ball. So it's going to be a big part of the game. Through the middle of the ground, look, get Will Brodie back against his old side. Will it be a Took Miller matchup? Will Took Miller up against Brayshaw, the red-hot Andrew Brayshaw, which would be a great contest. So, yeah, be some matchups through the middle of the ground. I'm really looking forward to watching. I'm looking forward to Alex Pearce down back. What a rocker Gibraltar he's been. What a great leader he's been for his Fremantle side. And I'm just looking forward to watching Fremantle live. They've been superb. We heard Justin Longmuir throughout the week talk about, just the striving for consistency, and that's what they've got as a side this year. They've been really impressive in all facets of the game. Of when they've had the ball in their hands, we heard Josh Carr talk about his pride, the way they've defended behind the ball really well, and even in the contest part of the game, they've been strong too. So it's going to be a great contest for I guess the Suns coming off the back of a good win last weekend. They've been up and down for a long time, as we know, but they've played well at home this year, champs, and they've certainly improved this year. So they've also got 15 top 20 draft picks, the Suns. So it's about time they found a bit of consistency too. So hopefully get a good contest this afternoon.
Yeah, especially for those guys coming into their 3rd, 4th, 5th seasons. Isaac Rankin, you mentioned him there a bit, champs, but they really need to get a bit out of him. He's almost a bit of a barometer, Blackie, that when he's up and about and he's providing a bit of a spark with his tackling pressure, not just his goal kicking, the Suns are normally a shot.
Yeah, they are. He's a live wire. He can be a barometer. It's all work ethic for him. I mean, Stewie Jew, his whole game is around. I would have thought just there's a pressure in the forward line, and on the back of that, things will happen. Getting to good spots, getting front and centre in the pack, and all those little things as a small forward that you need. But he's so creative with ball in hand, as we know it. He needs a combination of that good defensive pressure that he can bring, and he was good last week in Sydney, champs. You watched him live.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, no, he assisted a lot with some forward movement. Blackie, he kicked a couple of vital ones when required as well, and it just gave that little bit of a gap on the scoreboard, and Sydney struggled to come back from there.
Now, champs, the fullbacks, let's talk about them, the 225s. Ross Lyons thinks that Alex Pearce will be an All-Australian this year. Sam Collins, is he your favourite player?
Probably favourite defender at the moment. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Look, they both play a pretty similar style. They're really hard to get through, and if they don't mark the ball themselves, they rarely get outmarked or outplayed. So it'll be a bit of a battle to see who comes out on top today. I mean, they're not obviously playing on each other, but for their respective sides, I reckon full forwards will be very, very nervous. So I did mention that Levi Casbolt and Chol didn't do a great deal last weekend, so he'll get the job on probably Levi, because he's going to be more of a stay-home full forward for most of the time. Chol seemed to be rested in the ruck a little bit and change around and will come up forward a little bit more. So I suspect he'll probably get the job on Levi, and that'll be a good matchup.
Of course, a lot of changes for the Dockers this week with players coming back from health and safety protocols. Blake Acres having a great season on the wing. Travis Collier, former Bomber, of course. Griffin Lowe playing his 50th game. Rory Lobbs kicked 12 goals for the season. Michael Frederick, a bit of spark as well. Henry dropped O'Driscoll's out for a number of weeks, unfortunately, with injury. And Jai Miss thought he was a bit stiff to be dropped this week. Kicked 2 goals on debut at the fan club there at Optus Stadium last week. Joined the First Kick, First Goal club. Michael Walters out with health and safety. And Sam Swidkowski, speaking of really informed players, is out with injury. So a number of changes there. And we are not too far away from getting this match started, chance.
Rory Lobb's probably the biggest in for them, I think, at the moment. He's been in really good form, just not only obviously in the ruck, but his work around the ground has been fantastic. So he covers a lot of ground, just that big presence. So I reckon Jared Witts will need to have his wits about him, if you pardon the pun, just to keep with him and just to run with him. So, and that might test his fitness a little bit when, and that might see Chol in the ruck a little bit more if he starts to get a bit tired. Darcy McPherson, he started as a medi-sub last week, was such an influence when he came onto the ground last week against Sydney. He again is the sub, and he will play a big role late in this game, because it will be there'll be some tired legs out there, Blackie, with the ground being so heavy as the game goes on.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it's good. little bit of blue sky up there at the moment, so hopefully the rain stays away. But for the Gold Coast Suns, I really reiterate the point. I think it's been a good acquisition. The RBO Chol and the Casbolt get for the Suns. They've been superb with bringing. They've kicked the 33 goals between them, but their aerial work to bring the ball to the ground has been fantastic. So we see the players here start to take their positions, and let's hope we get a beauty, boys.
Yeah, Brandon Walker, the sub for the Dockers today. Love the run that he provides off half-back. And the Gold Coast Suns, 18th in the AFL for marks. They've really changed their game plan from a kick mark team to more direct. Last week against the Swans, though, they changed it up. 118 marks. I reckon today they can't really chip it around against this miserly Dockers defence. It starts in the middle. More than 200 Ks of humanity. Witts and Darcy will go head-to-head. Take it away on Triple M footy. Richard Champion.
He certainly will, BT. Looking forward to this clash from McDonald's Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy as we await the bounce down. Here it is, Darcy to do the ruck work against Witts, right over the top for Witts. It's going to be a quick clearance here, though, by the Dockers as Schultz gets it inside forward 50. Ballard in front, taps it to himself, got a little bit of space, needs support. He's got it in Weller. He runs away. His foot's come from underneath him there. Matty Rowe's in trouble. Weller backs up again to give him some support. Umpire says holding the ball, and it's a free kick to Freo.
Great tackle, Will Brodie, to start. Pin the arm beautifully.
He's probably too far out to score, Blackie. So Brodie is 60 out from goal. He'll put it to the top of the square. The big fella is going to leap at this. It falls to ground. And Weller just gets there in time to push it through for a rush behind. So the Dockers are one behind. Suns yet to score. Only 45 seconds into this first quarter here at Metricon Stadium. And that's on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
As the Suns come into the pocket, the Dockers allow them to come to the back pocket. Overlap handball from Butterick through to Powell. Switched hands went to Anderson. Just outside of defence, but under pressure to Miller. Has to slap away two would-be tacklers and found Anderson on the boundary. He's got a bit of time as Ryan closes in. Goes to right half forward. Casbolt a little bit out of position. Coming in front was Darcy. The whistle has blown. It will go Fremantle's way. Bob Jane T-Mart's Belinda Mellon.
The emergency umpires already had to spring into action, boys. The Freo Dockers left some warm-up markers out on the field and had to go and pick them up. About 5 of them. Bit of a panicked run out there.
Okay, all right, Pete. Thanks for that. So not everything going to plan as yet early in this first term for anyone, including the umpires, out of bounds. Big Rory Lobb couldn't keep it in play as he rolls back to inside forward 50 to provide a contest there. So Darcy and Witts will do battle again in the ruck. We're at left half forward for the Dockers. Probably kicking with a slight breeze at the moment. Miller out of the ruck work. Little handball over the top. Lemons, look out. He's going to get collared from behind by Schultz. He just managed to get a kick away. Here's Chol, but the Dockers have got numbers in Ryan. He's tackled, though. Can they turn this over, the Dockers? No. Clark did really well. Little handball out wide to Akers, and now they're away here through Aish.
And to Collier. Collier goes to left half forward, looking for the long lead of Tracy. Banfield there as well. Tracy picks up the loose footy. Handball over the head of Akers. Powell was tough to keep his feet, wasn't he? Simon Black found Isaac Rankin.
Superb. Had a great year. Will Powell's been superb for the Suns. They turn it over on the wing, though.
And they've found Ryan now on half back, and we'll go to the safety there of Griffin Logue in his 50th game, and now they can swing the ball out wide. And they've got Aish on the wing, all on his own, champs.
So Aish now got a bit of space. He just buys some time, looks up. Well, he tries to get around Weller. Weller did really well just to sheepdog him and make sure he wasn't going anywhere in a hurry. And now Sarong is waiting to bring the ball back. Aish provides another lead, and he pretty much gets it back from where he had it only 30 seconds ago.
Suns have been better at this, just holding the opposition up rather than so often letting them get away with a fast bit of play. Suns done well here to hold them up.
So the ball goes to half forward again. Sarong, quick kick forward. Toot comes in hard. Miller did really well. Tucker tackled, dispossessed. And they're under the pressure here, the Suns. Collins is there, goes towards the boundary. They managed to keep it in play. Brodie did really well. Around one, just popped it to the top of the square. Collie is there, couldn't quite kick off the ground, hit the post, or did it? It looked like it did, but it might have ricocheted into one of the players, and Sean Lemons runs out of half back and puts it out towards Cho, who flies up, couldn't complete the mark.
And Ryan near the boundary, right half forward, Dockers attacking entries. That really did look like it hit the post if it comes up on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
Certainly ricocheted off something, didn't
Come
it?
off Will Powell there, we see in the Harvey on replay. Boys, a couple of good matchups. Andrew Brayshaw and Tuke Miller looking like they're going together, which would be a great duel all day. And Noah Anderson and the former son, Will Brodie, going together as well.
And they're right in front of the ruckman here. Comes over the back, though, to Tuke Miller. Now picked up by Butterick, slipping and sliding in. Akers and Darcy getting his big body involved. Miller extracts it, though, up towards Holman in a one-on-one with Ryan. Young is tackled aggressively to ground. Toyota logo out of side centre wing. And still the only score is a behind to Fremantle on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So again, the Rucks go at it and give that one to Witts. Here's Young, picks it up at ground level, needs support, and he's got it.
Great hands.
The Sarong's hands were really quick and slick, Blackie, weren't they? Comes in towards Lob. He's down on the ground, couldn't quite pick it up. And Brayshaw's in pursuit. Suns have the numbers, though. It's 3-on-2. They should win out.
Miller's everywhere.
Tuke Miller is everywhere, Blackie. We'll get his Red Z lending stats very soon. Lob couldn't keep it in play. It'll be out of side. Throw in. Right half forward for the Dockers.
Miller's had the 5 stats, 5 kicks already so far. It's a bit of drizzle starting to appear now, and it's going to be on and off, I guess, most of the afternoon, champs. But, the ability to win that ball in the crunches, it's such a big part of the Easter conditions. But Fremantle are strong, and so are the Suns. So Tuke Miller is going to play a big part all afternoon in that.
Speaking of strength, Witts from the ruck, tumbling kick forward only as far as Cox. Handball over the top. They've got 2 Dockers free. One of them's Akers, who picks it up, looks towards left half forward. His target is Tracy. 3 Suns collide around him. Front and centre was Ellis with strength. Got it to Ballard. A hurry kick, did not look. Brodie spilt the mark, but had Young there in support. Gives it back to Brodie. The former Sun sends the ball out wide. Finds a target in Akers. He's 60 out from goal. He's got a lot of time to think about this. Goes to the goal square. The deeper target is Lob. Wrestling there with Ballard. The ball spills free to Banfield, but it was just ushered over by Rory Thompson. Last line of defence for another rush behind.
Rory Thompson played his first game in 4 years last week at the SCG.
Great to see him back, champs. He's had a lot of issues with injury, hasn't he?
And he was serviceable too. So good to see him continue on. Oh, that's a fantastic grab by Cox. They're at right half forward again, so they're doing all the attacking at the moment. In fact, the inside 50s will be an interesting count. Blackie will get those Triple M Red Z lenders very soon. Now there's a whistle on play. Lob comes out to meet the ball, but it's going to be a Gold Coast Suns free kick, and it'll go to Will Powell.
Yeah, 6-0. Ball's been camped in in Fremantle's forward half. So, yep, Suns yet to have a forward 50 entry.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed.
As Powell is called to play on now, he's going to drive a really high ball and it carries all the way over the wing. Witts is waiting for it. Darcy in front of him. At the fall of the ball was Holman. Left-handed handball straight to Brennan Cox. He handballed to no one in particular either. A lot of pressure on the footy. It's a slippery Sharon, as we heard from Simon Black, with drizzle on and off here at Metricon Stadium. Asian Lob, though, no long sleeves today. It is quite muggy still. We've got a boundary throw in centre wing, broadcast side, and the Suns would love to get it in their 50. It's been camped up at the Dockers end the early part of this first quarter. Hands free from Miller. Went past Ellis, but had Fiorini there. His hurried kick is flirting with the boundary line as Casbolt will charge out, bounce to the left, and then went out. About 60 out from the Suns attacking end. For McDonald's this week only, score 20% off your entire order, champs, when you spend $10 or more only on the My Macca's app.
Easily done. I'll be on to that. Thank you, BT.
On the way home.
So throw in, 60 out. So
your shout.
Suns yet to get an inside 50. Here's an opportunity, though. Swallow comes through. Ellis was really good last week. Gee, he brought his own footy. So Farah, inside 50 now. Spills free. Here's a chance. Jeffrey puts it to the top of the square. Weller's there, fighting hard, so is Chol. Now it spills out. Here's a chance.
Big Levi.
Big Levi to the right-hand side.
He's had a lot more time and space than he thought. We see on the Harvey on replay. Just threw it on the boot really quickly. But we see there, Fremantle very good to help out there, mates. They peel off third up, champs, very well. A good example there to bring the ball to ground.
He just rushed it a bit to Levi Casbolt there, didn't he, Blackie? So they have their first behind. So 2 points plays 1. It favours the Dockers. 8.5 played first term.
There's a free kick over the shoulder, and we'll go to Alex Pearce against Sean Lemons. Casbolt kicked the winner against the Swans from a snap, but missed their first shot on goal. So Pearce, from a slow play scenario, nothing in terms of a switch of play. Keeps it fairly low. Ballard just ushered under the footy by Banfield illegally, according to the umpire. And Charlie Ballard will win himself a free kick as now the Suns can stream numbers forward. Brett Thomas, Richard Champion, Simon Black, Belinda Mellon on this Saturday afternoon, round 9 footy at Metricon Stadium. As Ballard Thompson calling for it to go backwards, but he'll go short. 25-metre pass to Lemons. Gets up on his bike now and drives them long into attack. Chapman getting back. Chol crashes to pack hard. Here is Whitworth on the left. The snap bounces through.
If you don't mind.
A goal to the captain. First goal on the board to the Gold Coast Suns. 1-1-7. The Dockers are 2 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies. Over 120 stores now. Expert teams, a huge range of products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier, Simon Black.
Oh, Witsy, he's a beauty. He's not the most athletic bloke, and I give him credit for his size, but he's very clever at deciding when to go for the ball in the air and when to stay at ground level. He's done this numerous times throughout his career, champs, hasn't he? Where he was there in the Harvey Norman replay, he was trying to push back and get involved in the marking contest, but he realised he's not going to get to the fall of the ball, so he just stays in front. And Lux of Fortune just dropped in his lap, and that nice composed left foot snap of his, beautifully finished.
Well, you mentioned it was luck, Blackie, but that's where you got to be, front and centre, don't you? It doesn't matter whether you're 6'8" or whether you're 5'10", front and centre at a contest, the percentage is going to go your way. So well done, Jared Whitson, beautifully picked up there, Blackie, as well. For Ream and McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, back at the restart again. Another clearance for the Dockers. Fiorini needs support, got it in willpower, tried to brush the tackle, could be holding the ball, or the boundary line might have just been his friend on that occasion, and it was. He sought it, and he was able to go out before the umpire pinged him. So the centre clearances are certainly going the way of the Dockers at the moment. They're struggling inside the centre circle. We'll get those Red Jet Lending stats very soon from Simon Black.
Chol in the ruck now for the Suns. It spills out towards Mundy. Waits for Brayshaw to pick it up. Here is Lowe. Campbell to no one. Jai Farah gets up and two-fisted toward the boundary. Sarong's looking at the ump and he says throw it back in. Probably too far from the boundary for that to be insufficient intent. We've got a boundary throw in now about 60 out from the Dockers' goal. Banfield and Lobb, their deepest targets. Frederick in front of them. Chol and Darcy here, champs.
Darcy tapped it down, only as far as Farah, who gets it forward. Unable to complete the mark. Oh, Brody went without it, and he's put on a tackle. And it's given it away. So that was Holman.
The Suns were out there. Malcolm Roses just drilled a handball at a teammate running past far too quick in these dewy, slippery conditions, and Freo turned the footy over in the back of it.
So Tucker to Young. And he's going to switch play to Pearce here. He's still inside defensive 50.
And finds Cox. So they chain together some uncontested kicks and marks, and they've got another one. Hangs up in the air for Akers. So now Rankin runs up to the mark. That slowed them down a little bit. Frederick provides the short lead. The really long target will be Lobb. That's almost a kick and a half from Lobb, so he's going to have to run up to this and come in from behind Ballard. Got hands to it. Sarong claimed immediately by Miller. Through traffic was Farah. Lost it, picked it up again on his knees. Looking for Swallow. Frederick picked his pocket. Now Banfield squeezes a wobbly ball to half forward. And Powell lost the footy. Picked up by Erasmus.
Wow.
The number 10 draft pick goes bang. That was a real sharpshooter's goal from Neil Erasmus. Just his fourth game. He's kicked his first goal in AFL footy. Well done, Neil. And they get around him, Simon Black. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Suns 1-1-7, the Dockers 1-2-8.
Oh, that was brilliant. Great little bit of a pickpocket from Erasmus here. We'll see on the trip Harvey Norman replay. It's a lovely ball came in. Really just a ball where Will Power was best positioned, but Erasmus pickpocketed it out of his hands, just tapped it out of his hands here. And snapped beautifully over his right shoulder. Great start for him, and give him the world of confidence in the start of his early days of his carear.
Yeah, he's pumped about it too, Blackie, and good to see. He just tapped it in front of him, kept his eye on the footy, most importantly, and gave him a chance at snapping truly. Umpire didn't have to move, straight through the middle. So good start to him in his career as far as goal scoring is concerned. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy back at the restart again Monday. Haven't heard his name too much thus far. Now he's given the handball away. Anderson, quick kick inside forward 50. Casbolt stays down. Here's Rankin, clever, sells some candy. Looks for an option. Coming out and meeting it. Not quite grabbing it. And the Suns, well, they're everywhere, but there's no one there. Rao waits on the outskirts. Weller tries to suck her off the ground. Still in dispute. Dockers have got numbers. Mundy, and they're away here, Freo.
Brayshaw over the top, links up with Erasmus. He handballs back to Brayshaw. A little bit high, went past him. He's fumbling as Powell came through, but they are out here, the Dockers. They're lining up. Brody just needs to hit a target, looking for Frederick, but Thompson was outmatched in terms of size there, Frederick, and Thompson gets the hand in, saves the day. Boundary throw in, right forward pocket, Dockers attacking end.
Should have done better with that, Freo. They had enough time and space for that kick inside 50. They just didn't have a target coming at the ball carrier. A bit disappointed not to get bigger bang for buck on that opportunity.
Just while we're in this situation right now, Blackie, have a look at some Triple M Red Z lending stats for centre square clearances as Dockers in trouble here.
2-1 to Fremantle at the moment. Around the ground, it's 6-1 for the Gold Coast. So Sun's doing well around the ground.
All right. Ellis. Inside defensive 50. Needs some support. He's got it. Butterick. Will look to go back inside forward 50. Lemons. Fredericks runs at him, so he's got a couple of options. And now Collins switches play. They've got a little bit of space out wide. Handball over the top is okay. Fiorini, centre wing position, needs support. It's too short. Rory Lobb chips in and takes a defensive mark. The turnover was an issue last week for them as well, although Sydney turned it over more when the Gold Coast played them, but it was a real issue of their game last week.
So Lobb up towards Banfield and might have won a free kick. He has. Butterick's back was turned to the marking contest. So Banfield has it. Sweeping handball out wide to Aish. Normally uses it well. That is no exception. And has found Neil Erasmus in the right forward pocket.
Oh, he's on fire, Erasmus. Started beautifully. I tell you what, champs. He's got the old school name, Neil. Is there any other Neils in the competition these days?
If you were born anywhere before 2000, I wouldn't have thought so, Blackie.
Brilliant, love it.
Afterwards, but Neil, very simple. Very
number 10 draft pick from Subi, the number 1 ranked midfielder in the Colts last year. He's playing up forward today. Debuted in round 3 Western Derby. Just kicked that a little skinny on the snap and threw for a behind. So he's kicked 1-1. Freo's kicked 1-3-9. The Suns are 1-1-7 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, goals will be at a premium this afternoon with these conditions. The sun pops out every now and again, but there is a little bit of breeze around. And of course, it's a soppy Metricon Stadium. Well, that kick, again, there's another turnover for the Gold Coast Suns. And Tucker, 60 out from goal, takes the mark. He's got Mundy short inside 50. He's ignored him, although he still is open if he chooses to have a crack at him, but no. He'll go towards a couple of the tall timbers. And Lobb unable to pull that in over the boundary line for a throw-in. So we're only 20 around from the Dockers goal. They're kicking towards your left speaker or the northern end here at Metricon Stadium. 9 plays 7, 2-point margin in favour of the Dockers. 17 played first term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Witts over the back. Darcy. Anderson under immediate pressure from Erasmus. Goal kicker turned tackler. He's kicked Freo's only goal. Witts from a snap. Kicked the opening goal of the afternoon. Now he's deep in defence, wrestling with Darcy, who got a hand to it. Into space. Ellis waiting for somebody to feed out the handball. Now he goes in himself and snaps over the shoulder, looking for Casbolt. And the umpire said that Alex Pearce had his arms wrapped around Alex quite fairly and subtly asking the umpire. I thought he had a bear hug on me. Of course, he can't argue the point too much. Casbolt, second kick of the afternoon. His first one was a behind. And he has found Lemons. They're retreating here, though, the Suns. Now he kicks up towards Witts. Good kick to centre half back. He wants to fan the ball out wide to Ballard, who's moving ahead of him. He's found a target on the wing to Butterick, pushing up the ground. On the left, that's a bit of a worm burner into the 50. It's a chaos ball, though, for Cox. Under pressure from Fiorini. Has to be clean. Just tapped it into Mundy, and now they retreat to the voice of Clark under pressure from Chol, and it might come back here, although Farah just fresh-aired it. And it comes out the back now to Erasmus, who flying to the ground found Brayshaw, up to Frederick. He's got a couple of one-on-ones deep in attack. He goes to the pocket, but good hand there from Lemons, because he was one-on-one there with Lockie Schultz, the informed small forward from the Dockers, managed to force a boundary throw in right forward pocket.
Yeah, great.
Impressive, Blackie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was
Rory,
impressive from
thank you.
Freo from the back line there. They get numbers back really well in their defensive 50, and that was real. I guess it good typified the way Fremantle played, run and carry through the middle of the ground and getting a good opportunity, good look in their forward 50 on the back of their defensive work.
All right, so Lob will do the ruck work against Wetzel. That's out of bounds on the 4, I think, accidentally. I think it come off Akers' foot. And Fiorini will take the free kick inside defensive 50.
Okay, on the line. Put it on the line, thank you.
Schultz now to mind the mark.
Play on.
So Fiorini just gains a little bit of
Yours.
space on the arc and just hoiks it up towards left half back. Casbolt waits behind. Young could have been pushed in the back. No, says the umpire. Logue was there. Young again. His kick smothered. Witts did really well. Young again. So a couple of touches and now a kick inside forward 50.
Play on.
Well done by Collins. Was he taken high? He slipped half the time. And now here it is with Tracy. Little kick on goal. To the left, it's missed everything. So another throw in right next to the goals. 20 minutes played, first term.
Just drizzling here a little bit on the Gold Coast, but obviously in these conditions, the cleanliness, the ability to be one touch below your knees, all important this afternoon. And there's some wonderful on balls. Loving watching David Bundy here. Oh, there we go.
Brody out of the air. He goes. Flying shot from goal. Great ruck work there from Darcy, but Brody sees that as an opportunity missed. In fact, he missed everything in the end. Out of bounds on the full. I reckon time in forward half must be dominated by Freo, and there's a kick over the top, carried in the breeze to Weller. Suns are up towards the wing, but well read there by the NAB Rising Star nominee in Chapman. Took the intercept mark, got in front of his opponent, now found Young on his trusty left boot, squeezes a kick out to Banfield, gets the kind bounce, has a couple of metres on Butterick. Poor kick though. Miller went down with the one hand, then picked it up, handball over his head backwards to Collins, who slices that ball up towards the wing. Pearce in the best position. Early body work was good on Casbolt. A lot of time to work out what he wants to do. Angle ball is a beauty, getting down on one knee like a cricketer. Taking it was Cox.
So Cox now to Chapman.
They're out.
Switches, they're out here. So Aish runs, puts it inside forward 50. That's a beautiful kick. Not quite being marked there by Tracy. He had to dive for the footy, and being a little bit wet, it just spilled out at the crucial time. Ellis provides an option inside defensive 50 and takes a good sliding mark.
It was a beautiful ball coming in from James Ace.
Couldn't have been any better, could it? And it just slipped out of his grasp, Blackie, last minute. Tracy, so to be a little bit disappointed with that. Ideal opportunity. Now, everyone flies for this ball, including Rankin and Casbolt. He's the last to get up. Now for the Dockers, it's Chapman. Got it to Sarong. He switches play out wide. Now, Clark runs for him, and he's going to receive it now. He's got a little bit of time and space. Runs to the centre of the ground, not sure where to go, so he goes short here and finds Erasmus, who's off to a good start in this game. Too far out to score, 60 out. The lead's provided. Lob's his best target. It's punched away from him. It spills free. Holman in pursuit. Did really well, but it's going to come unstuck again. And they just got all the play in their forward half, the Dockers.
Clark to Logue, under pressure. Got it to Aish, 50 out from goal. He just checked his kick and changed it at the last moment. Trapped there by Lemons deep in defence. Tries to direct Weller just to kick it long up towards Chol, and that's where he goes. And a good contested mark under pressure from Jordan Clark there, Simon Black, wasn't it? Triple M Seabus Super Special comment.
Yeah, they needed that. But under the pump, the Gold Coast defence, repeat entries from Fremantle, so they needed an out there, the Suns, and Chol took a nice mark, but she's taken forever to get back from the mark here. But the Fremantle Dockers are getting outside the Suns at the moment, really too easily. So Stewie Dew in the coach's box for the Suns will have his concern the way they're transitioning the ball.
Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Now they come up towards left half forward, the Dockers. Mundy there is on the footy. Miller sweats on him. Cox trying to find Chapman, who'll go back in again. Rowell extracts the wet footy. Got it to his number 2 in Anderson. High ball under pressure. Schultz camped underneath it. He took a nice mark in those conditions, champs.
He certainly did. He just put his body right in the right spot at the drop of the footy and was able to protect that drop zone and take a good chest mark. Now, the Suns are so hell-bent on making sure the Dockers haven't got it all their own way, Blackie. There's no one forward for them. So you're right. They have to really look at things at quarter time.
It's too easy.
See how they're going to progress here. Now, Lob, he's got Frederick forward of him. That's a good kick. Frederick couldn't quite. He tapped his arms. Ballard must have just clipped his arms on the way. The crowd don't like it. But a chop of the arms has been called by the umpire here. Triple M Harvey Norman replay will tell the story. He's disappointed, but Fredericks will go back and have a shot on goal. Now he's tucked in only 5 metres from the boundary at the northern end here. Commentary side. He's going to run around the corner and try his luck. It's hit the footy pretty well, but is it over the top of the goalpost? No, umpire said it snuck through, I think.
Wow.
It has. So well done to Michael Frederick. He's kicked 10 goals this year in his 8th game. So a really good go and a much needed one for the Dockers. 2-3-15. The Suns 1-1-7. 24 and a half played first term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Let's go down to Belinda on the boundary for Bob Jane teammates.
Noah Anderson has just limped off the field in the hands of both physios, boys. He's getting his right upper hamstring strap like now. Looked in a little bit of trouble. They'll try to fix him up to get him back out there. Also, boys, worth noting, it is incredibly sapping down here at ground level, even though there is misty rain falling. Gold Coast Suns players are actually getting massive packs of ice on the backs of their necks when they're coming off just to recuperate. It is really, really steamy. I reckon that the heat may take its toll later in the game.
Absolutely. We're back in the middle. Thank you, B, for Bob Jane teammates. By the way, buy a set of 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres. Enter to win an Austrac Telegraph Cross camper trailer. Here come the Dockers again out of the middle. Brody on his left, looking for Schultz just over his head. And the ball trickles out of bounds. Well, Noah Anderson returning from injury this week, so we will keep an update on that. Thank you, B, for Bob Jane teammates. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Been low scoring in this term. 2-3-15 plays 1-1-7 with about a minute 40 remaining in this term. Witts palms it down with the right hand into the path of Rowell, turning. No one really around him, but kicks straight into Darcy. Went about 7 metres. On his back, he's looking for Brayshaw. Getting down low, Akers will get it back from Brayshaw. They combine well. He goes with a really high ball looking for lob. Frederick over the back got hands to it. He'll go in again as the tackler. Schultz is also waiting for Powell to cough it up, but didn't. Clean hands, Jai Farah. High up and under ball. Darcy got his big frame in front of Witts. Down to Brayshaw, turns, got the bump there from Miller, but the kick away in time. Again, Lob with bodies around him, gave away the free kick, and Will Powell, who does that well, wins the free kick.
He's playing really well at the moment. Blackie has had a couple of crucial touches. Now they're trying to whip things out there in trouble. Aish has got Fiorini. Brought into ground. Matty Rowe's in there working hard. Now, this is where Gold Coast are falling down. Handball comes out to Took Miller. Ellis needs to grab it, and he does. They need to grab it, get on their bike, and when they've got forwards clear, they need to utilise it. But Freo are so determined to get back and clog it up. They're just doing so well. We're just making it hard.
They're so disciplined, aren't they? They get numbers back really, really quickly, working hard together. Fremantle, a really good unit, great method defensively.
Ainsworth to Lemons, and now Powell puts it inside forward 50. Casbolt, good use of the body, took the mark. He got the body on Pearce early, Blackie, got him out of the way, got him unbalanced, and timed it perfectly to take the mark right in front of goal, 12 metres out.
Yeah, great contested mark, as you said, Chance. Just own the drop zone of the ball, identify where the ball was going to land in the and just use that big frame of his to keep Pearce out of that area, and quite an easy mark in the end. But yeah, that, as you say, that's what the Suns need to be able to do. They need to try to put it to good spots quickly. As we hear the quarter time siren go here.
Well, so Levi, he can put the Gold Coast Suns within a couple of points at quarter time, and he has. He's very true. The Harvey Norman replay, there it is there. Well done to Levi Casbolt. Yet, by the way, if you need a new laptop or mobile, shop Harvey Norman. We have all the big brands. So what a game we got. It's a low-scoring one, but it's an interesting one and an intriguing one. We look forward to what progresses from here. 15 plays 13. It favours the Dockers at quarter time for Ream Hot Water and McDonald's. Triple M Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
this week only, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10 or more. Only on the My Macca's app.
Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 3 minutes. Two minutes. One minute. Thirty seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
'M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
Quarter time at Metricon Stadium. The sun poked its head through momentarily. It has disappeared again. It's going to be like this all day. It feels like middle of winter type Melbourne game. Just swap the cold for the mugginess here at Metricon Stadium. It is quite muggy and quite sapping down there. So we'll hear what that effect is going to have on these teams throughout the day. In fact, someone who might have a good idea is boundary side for Bob Jane T-Mart's Belinda Mellon. Give us an update on what's happening down there.
Well, there was bright sunshine out on the ground about 30 seconds ago, and now rain is falling again. Honestly, we could be in Melbourne. Keep an eye on boys, though, on David Mundy in game at 3-6-1. Just got a bit of strapping on his right knee, although when you're nearing the 400s, I reckon a little bit of taping's allowed. He looks like he's pretty keen to get back out there, so nothing too serious.
Thank you, B. At Bob Jane T-Mart's, buy a set of 4 Monster Wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph cross camper trailer. So Dockers by 2 points at quarter time. Simon Black, they had the lion's share of inside 50s.
Yeah, they sure did. Plus 13, 19-6, the Dockers. And just their method, their defensive part of their game, they're such a stingy defensive unit. They do it beautifully well, only conceding 57 points on average. You can see here, live champs, the way they're going about it. Ball gets in their half-back line, and the way they spread and look to move the ball quickly, and just that extra number to find a handball receive option to break the line, to get the ball moving inside forward 50 for a good look was was really well done. That to the Suns' credit, they kicked a couple of nice goals for a bit of individual brilliance. It was a good, even first quarter in the end.
Yeah, it was. They'll need to do a little bit for more going forward because it was a little bit unhinged there for a fair bit of that first term. Here's Brett Thomas for the start of the second quarter.
And it's Darcy and Witts who fell over. Miller slipping over as well. Now Rao coming through was clean. And got it to Swallow. High ball again. Chol out of position. Logue in front of him. Heavy tackle might have held on too long from Jordan Clark. It spills free though. Umpire lets the action go on to Rankin. One-handed pick up by Rosas Jr. and the pass into Ainsworth. I thought he might have backed off a touch. Waited for that ball to bounce in front of him. Clark followed on well. Then got it to Cox trying to shake off Rosas Jr. Measures a ball over the top. Clever and finds Will Brodie.
Brodie will now take his time at right half back to progress the ball forward.
Move it on. Me.
Short little kick's okay.
Stand!
So they're just taking their time going forward as the informed midfielder Brayshaw.
Not 15.
Switch it. Not 15. Okay, I've seen less given to a mark. Progresses the ball to right half forward. Claims the mark. Does Charlie Ballard. And umpire says fair enough. I think he talked him into it in the end. Aish minds the mark. Ballard will go back and assess his options. He could go back inside forward 50, but this has been the rule of the day so far. Just long down the line, looking for Witts or Casbolt. Young claims the mark. No, says the umpire. Pearce just really struggling to pick the ball up at the moment. This gives the opportunity for the Suns to come in, although Young dug in hard again and got a handball out. Now it spills to Matty Rao. Anderson, quick kick around the corner. Pearce in best position, opts to leave it. Now Swallow comes in to lend a hand.
Gee, it's like
a real
so
scrappy affair, isn't it, Blackie?
It's a slippery
Butterick's now buttering hard. Anderson, only as far as Frederick. He's dumped to the ground. BT, take over.
Yeah, I thought that was holding the ball. There was no real clean possession there as it comes out to Logue and Chol. And Aish, heavy tackle there from Weller, not rewarded. Comes up to Darcy, tried to play it on his boot under pressure from Witts. Ryan coming across now, Logue in game 50. Out to Ryan, just slaps that on the boot. It's a territory battle. Looking for Tracy, bounces away from him to Collins.
Clever.
Put the hand into him, then handballed forward to Anderson. Out wide, looking for Powell. To Ballard, but it was a hospital handball. Turnover, Dockers get it back.
They do. Ryan got around one, but the kick has fallen short. And Collins takes the mark. Switches play. Out wide is okay. Finds Anderson. Little kick is inside. Levi was bumped off his chest. Thankfully, he's got Took Miller there in support. Kicked it up towards Ellis. He's got the skills and the foot speed to grab this. Opted to tap it on towards Chol. Chol tries to dance around a Clark tackle, but he's brought to ground. Could have been holding the ball. No, says the umpire. Weller's in pursuit here. Here's Rankin. Normally does something clever. Tried to get around 13 players.
Didn't he?
And eventually he was brought to ground and done for holding the ball.
Play on.
Yeah, just one too many there from Isaac Rankin. Blake Acres rewarded with the free. Switches to play to Ryan. No one around him, so he can get up and running. Directs that ball inboard to the point of the square. And the mark under pressure from Neil Erasmus. Kicked his first goal in AFL footy in that first term. Now he's at right half back. So if the half forwards are pushing up, what targets does he have ahead of him? He's got Aish pushing up the ground. Frederick, Tracy, the long big target, but he's
shocking kick.
It's a really bad kick in these conditions. It slid off the side of his boot. And it goes out of bounds. We'll have a look at the SKG radiology matchups that you're liking there, Simon Black, in the middle.
Yeah, the Brayshaw-Took Miller matchups have been a beauty so far. Pretty even. Took Miller has had the 4 clearances. They both had 8 disposals to Miller and 7 to Brayshaw.
Anderson inside forward 50. Witts from behind provides a contest. Spills to Chol. Couldn't quite pick it up. Here's Rankin again. Can do some special stuff. Ellis tried the impossible, kicking out of the air, mid-air. He's buttering up again, though. Little handball was okay. Shot on goal is just to the left-hand side. And through for, just straight through behind. And it was Ainsworth, was it? Yes, it was. From the outer side. And a couple more inside 50s, though. It's a more promising start in this second term for the Suns, Blackie.
Yeah, it is. They just need to keep the pressure on. The Fremantle Dockers are so good at turning the ball back over in their back half and rebounding quickly at you. But Suns started better in the second term.
Through the middle, Erasmus. Mundy trying to find him via hand. Brayshaw plays it off his bootlaces. Then got the handball back from Schultz. Frederick is up and running. He's a quick runner as well, looking for lob. pushing back, but the kick not really to his advantage. Good body work from Sam Collins, taking that intercept mark, and very rarely is beaten one-on-one. And now he has found Rory Thompson deep in defence. Hits up Weller.
He's run 100 metres to get that footy, BT, so I'm glad he was rewarded for that.
Jack Bowe's coming back soon. Be interesting to see if Weller stays across half-back or pushes up to a wing. He's now got Butterick, and they're just outside of their defensive 50 champs.
He's a real versatile player. That's what I like about him. His work rate is incredible. As the rain's almost starting to come into the Triple M box here at the moment. And the ball spills free. Well done by Matty Rao. Managed to get it free, but Lowe takes a good mark. Just behind Chol, he just used his body to keep him at bay. Goes short to Mundy.
Keep out, Marbio.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? 361 games for David Mundy. What a servant he's been to this club. Has remained loyal all that time. The kick is it's a half volley at the end of the day to Ryan, and he's wrapped up. And well done by Isaac Rankin. He's been rewarded for that holding the ball. Is it right half forward? There's really no one forward. The Dockers just seem to have numbers everywhere, Black.
Yeah, they work hard, so hard defensively, get numbers back, +3 in their back 50 then.
And good contested mark from Chol. The pass came in from Miller, and Chol was standing on the boundary about 45 out, one-on-one with Griffin Logan. Marbia Chol doesn't get a lot of the footy, but he can certainly have a big impact. He's turned his back on the play.
And that's what Fremantle are forcing you to do. They're forcing you to go wide because they're so good at being able to get numbers back and getting some structure back there. So, yeah, Mario Chol marked that 2 or 3 minutes inside the boundary line. It's going to be a hell of a kick to drill this one.
Yeah, 15-6 on the season, almost shoot up the full 30. Only went in about 3 steps, and he's kicked it straight through for a point. Was never deviating off that line and missing to the left-hand side. So on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, where Good Food deserves a great drop, the home side, Gold Coast 2-3-15. Tied up with the Dockers also 2-3-15. 7 minutes gone in this second term.
So all tied away here. It's good signs if you're a Suns fan, given where the Dockers are currently sitting, just losing the one game so far this year. Took Miller, clever hands to Fiorini. Had to quickly get it on the boot. Over the top. That could be a free kick against Pearce for too high. And it'll go to David Swallow.
Oh, geez, Pearce unlucky there. I would have thought, champs. You see here on the Harvey on replay. Pearce comes from behind. Pretty solid contact, but I'm not sure it was over the shoulder.
Well, he can't argue the point these days, Blackie. That's the thing about it. So David Swallow will have a shot on goal directly in front, 25 metres out. The hand was over the shoulder technically. So Harvey Norman, if you need a new laptop or mobile, shop Harvey Norman. They have all the big brands. Here's Swallow for the third. He's made the umpire work for it, but it snuck through. And for the first time this afternoon, the Gold Coast Suns have hit the front. That's his first. They have 3. And the score reads 3-3-21 to Freo, 2-3-15. We've played 7, almost 8 minutes of this second term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where Good Food deserves a great drop.
Yeah, well, he'd be disappointed with that, with Pearce, because he just didn't need to get that arm across the shoulder, as you said, champs, there. His left arm across over the top of David Swallow's left shoulder as well. So the free kick was there, but yeah, the Suns have started well. As we see the rain coming down again out there. It's a wet, slippery football, and the Gold Coast Suns at this point are taking their chances going forward.
So it's hit for hit, slug for slug at the moment at Metricon. The voice you heard there before of Simon Black, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. It is hard out there at the moment as Rao taps it to Fiorini. Handballs out wide, now they're onto the wing to Powell from half-back, looking for Jeffrey. Joel Jeffrey into the side for his first game this week, but Cox found Pearce. On his left goes up the line. Mundy knew that was going over his head all the way to Erasmus. He's done well the way he's competed today. To Collier. Collier goes to half forward. Tracy, Collins tried to send him into next year, then followed up with a second effort. Good follow-up there, though, from Tracy, and he lets him know about it. He says, you bumped me, I got up and tackled you, and I've won myself a free kick. Needs to just settle himself down, though. Take his free and send the Dockers into attack.
That was a good call from the not adjudicating umpire, who was 50 metres away from that. He realised that he didn't dispose of it properly as he goes inside forward 50. Darcy was there. Frederick spills free. Well done, Rory Thompson to Ballard. And now Weller. Gee, he's had a really good game. Weller, as I mentioned, he just works so hard. We'll get his Triple M Red Z lenders very soon, Blackie. Have a look at that as the rain comes down in a misty fashion here at Metricon Stadium. Big Levi, he got rid of his opponent. Him and Munna vie for it now. Also Sarong's in there, but he did really well, did Matty Rao. Got it inside 50. Chol caught from behind, just needs a kind bounce, and he wasn't able to do so.
Great pressure.
Logue did well. The pressure's good, though. Logue has 3 to beat. Miller, Chol, what are you going to do, Marbior? He's on the left. No mistake with that one. Great goal. 40 out. Tight his angle, slotted it through. 2 in quick succession for the Gold Coast Suns. They now move to 4-3-27. The Dockers 2-3-15. 10 played second term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Impressive footy for the Gold Coast Suns. All the back of really good contested ball around the middle of the ground. Great effort to turn the ball over. And then really good hustle there. This rain is coming down pretty solid here now. Looks like a tub of soap, but they needed someone with some nice, clean hands below their knees. And the perfect man was there in Took Miller, who released the fed out beautiful handball to his full forward in Marbio Chol, who just had about 10 or 15 metres of time and space to settle and kick a nice drop punt on that left foot to really put the Suns in a good position here, a 12-point lead.
On the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, where good food deserves a great drop. Back in the middle, umpire's going to throw it up. Teeming rain here at Metricon. Lob in the ruck against Chol. Sarong gets a clearance. The centre half forward. Good juggling mark taken by Will Powell. They've got a few interceptors back there, the Suns. Ballard, Collins and Powell. He goes to Connor Butterick. Looks up, no one around him. To the wing. Finds Ellis. Somehow got out the back on Akers. So they've got the momentum now, the Suns, as he massages that ball up the line. It's a territory battle at the moment. And the Dockers have it in their possession, although Chapman's handball went awry. Has some teammates in support as Ballard falling to ground, looking now for Chapman under pressure. Who can adjust the best? It's got really slippery. Joel Jeffrey looks up, just got his kick away in time under pressure. Lob, Ryan, fast hands, out towards Aish, looks up, advances the ball to Banfield. His left-handed handball into space. It finds Schultz, who directs that ball, but he was dumped. It'll be a down free field.
I think it was high as he tackled him, so it will come back, I reckon, BT.
He's 70 metres out from goal when he kicks it, but the Gold Coast Suns have really lifted their contested ball part of their game here. They're up +9 in their second term.
Schultz handballs off to Aish. Aish runs inside forward 50. Will he have a ping at goal? He will, but he's missed everything, I think. He has. So the former Lion and Pie has put it out of bounds on the full. You're dead right. I don't know what Stewie Jew said at quarter time, but whatever he said worked. Although Fiorini's put himself under pressure dropping that mark, but he does clear the defensive 50 area. Spills free. Hands were good. Holman down the line. Levi, you got a couple of beat. One is Pierce and the other is Logue, and Logue comes up with it. Little handball, a little 1-2 is good. Frederick did really well. Oh, the hands went to Brayshaw, but he dropped it. It was a tough one to control, though. Suns a chance here. Holman, he did well to hang on to it. Ainsworth, I should say, sorry. Holding the ball, they says the umpire. But look at the numbers. 6 Dockers, 1 or 2 Suns. So, again, they're getting numbers around the footy and making it really hard for the Suns to get some clearance between them and their opposition.
Great tackle from Sarong was rewarded, and a really good kick to the long lead of Tracy. Takes that mark just in the field of play. He's about 70 from home. Deepest target is Rory Lobb if he can get there. He's going in that direction. Lobb again with a lot of bodies around him. Chol getting back in the hole. Picked up now by Collier in the pocket. Directs it on his left. Weller in between he and his target though. Farah goes in. Now Brayshaw. Aish turning. Kicking on his left. It'll fall into the lap of Chol under pressure from Schultz. Chol will just kind of professionally fumble that over the boundary line, disguise it, and he is happy with the safety of a boundary throw in. Right forward pocket, Dockers attacking in. It's the Suns by 12 points. 13 minutes gone in this second term.
Clearly a strategy by the Suns. They've got every player in the Dockers forward half at the moment, just trying to clog things up. As Lobb does ruck work against Chol. Tapped it down beautifully towards Schultz. Shot on goal. He's under a little bit of pressure, but runs across the face, out of bounds for a throw-in. So, Suns doing well just to clog things up here in regards to the Dockers forward line. A couple of crucial goals early in this second term for them. They've got a handy lead of 12 points. 14.5 played of this second term towards the boundary. Tucker couldn't keep it in play. We'll throw it in again.
For Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. They're earning their showers this afternoon. here at Metricon Stadium. It's been raining all week. Southeast Queensland drizzling down today. Lob in the ruck, left forward pocket, Dockers end. Hands and knees Fiorini. Sarong over the back of him. Comes out to Anderson. Just a hurried kick. Just comes out of his defensive 50. Bounce past Casbolt to Pearce. Rosas Jr. getting involved. Now Young. Brayshaw looking for Chapman. Clean bowled him. But managed to recover to Brayshaw. Slapped away a hand and then got it to Cox. Here's a little handball to Akers. Out of the corner of his eye he saw Ryan, but changed the kick and then he kind of muffed it. But Ryan, or as Rankin slipped over, just ran past him like a witch's hat. Sends it out wide to Aish.
He did get a kind bounce, so he was a little bit lucky. Aish's kick a little hot. And here's Weller, been everywhere, brought his own nut today. He's gone long. The chances on it's 3-on-1 though, and an easy punch away by Cox. And Ellis has got it all to do. He's got 4 to beat. He needs some support. Ainsworth comes in, lends a hand, but in going really hard for the footy, he's given away a free kick.
Blake Acres ran past the ball, over the ball, thinking one of his teammates would get it, but he should have stuck around. Fremantle working really hard, as you've said, champs, to get numbers around the ball. It's just not quite working for them at the moment, but you can't argue with their work rate. It's been fantastic.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments from Simon Black as the ball comes up towards the wing. Lemon's trying to shake off lob, went to ground and then just slipped out of his grasp, and the ball goes out of bounds. You'll see a few of those for the rest of this game.
Major ball winners for the Fremantle Dockers. Brayshaw started well with 13, Brody 12, Cox 12. For the Suns, Will Power 13, Took Miller 12 and Anderson 11.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Lob, Witts wrestling. Miller, Akers slipping and sliding in. And Miller got a push in the back as we heard them. The umps mic'd up exclusively on Triple M. It is the Suns still by 12 points.
They've been pretty predictable at this part of the ground, the Suns, to go sort of long down that line. They want to switch it, but they're
patient, aren't they? Well, I think Fremantle forcing them to be patient because they set up so well behind the ball.
They have, Blackie. You're dead right. Ellis will just pump it down the line. There's a whistle on play, and it's a free kick. So a couple of unnecessary free kicks being given away at both ends of the ground. So Pearce has the free kick out of side. He's at left half back.
It's just going to drive it long. Oh no, hangs up in the air though a little bit to a pack. Brody off hands to Sarong. Squeezes it into space to Collier. That was really clever, as you heard from Simon Black. Collier looks up on the left. Comes up towards Banfield. It's an awkward ball for the Suns defence. And a shot across the face of goal. Looking for Schultz, but it ends up out of bounds on the full in that right forward pocket. So chance goes begging for the Dockers with 6 minutes to play in this second term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy, 4-3-27 Gold Coast, 2-3-15 the Dockers.
As we approach half-time, if you asked Stewie Jew before the game, would you be happy being a couple of goals up at half-time? He would have taken that, I would have thought, and that could just be the case. There is still plenty of time in this second term, but the Suns have certainly matched it with the Dockers, who have been in sensational form this year. And the challenges they face with ISO, injuries, it's been a real credit to them so far. So Darcy and Witch to do the ruck work. Here's Aish, got a quick clearing kick from the stoppage. Ballard seemed really slow to get rid of that footy. Weller again is everywhere. Little handball out towards Matty Rowell. Mundy comes in to lend a hand. He's tackled. Sarong's there also. Whistle on play.
Go through.
And no one really knows where it's going to go. And it's going to go to Sarong. About 60 out from goal. Tucked in on the boundary though, BT.
As Tracy runs to the goal square to be the long target. He tugs that towards the pocket though, as Thompson gets back and spoils that over the boundary line in that right forward pocket. So the Dockers just building some pressure in attack. Can they get a clean hit out here from Darcy on Witts? SKG Radiology matchup we're looking forward to today. 1-4 in the AFL, hit-outs to advantage. Darcy in front, got his hand to it. Picked up by Anderson though. Brody, desperate stuff, just got a smother to that. Goes at right angles. Goes out of bounds again, right half forward. Still Dockers attacking in as we tick up to 20 minutes in this second term.
I know we're trying to clog up the Suns are trying to clog up the Dockers here, but if I was one of the forwards at the moment for Suns and Swallow and also Holman are there, I reckon I'd sneak back towards the goals, Blackie, but the kick comes on towards the goals from the Dockers, but it's well chopped off, and Ellis should receive this if the kick's good enough. It's out that way. Banfield did really well to provide some sort of resistance. He's still there, and he got around Ellis, and now he provides an opportunity for Aish, who spears the ball in up towards Schultz. It goes over his head and over the boundary line. But it'll just make the Dockers think about, well, do I have a chance to go, or do I go back and mind my man? And a quick turnover can result in an opportunity for the Suns.
Dockers are actually yet to score still in this second term, but they've had the lion's shares of the possession in their 50, or at least the last 5 or 6 minutes, you reckon, as Sarong's had a fair bit of the footy in this term. Handball over the top was clever from Brodie. Now here's Mundy in the pocket. What can he create? And they do get a score. It is a behind, though, just tucking that to the left. 4-3-27 the Suns. 2-4-16 the Dockers as the Suns come out of defence. Triple M IGA at the scoreboard. Where Good Food deserves a great drop.
Rankin taken high, so he'll receive the free kick at left half back. Lemon's short. That's ignored. He goes back towards inside defensive 50. Now Witts has found a little bit of space. He's got Ballard, and he finds him via a kick, which went about 25 metres. Working really hard here.
Done well here, the Suns.
Is Rosas, now inside 50.
Nice.
Ainsworth, really well done. Just found some space.
Great method.
Didn't lead hard, Blackie. He just sort of knew he had enough space to just pop it up.
Well, it was just really good ball movement from the back half. The Rankin kick was a 55-metre cross goals in his defensive 50, which allowed Witts to get the ball out. And that extra number on the other side of the ground there, really well done. And when that had their look inside forward 50, there was time and there was space to find that free player coming out in Ainsworth. So nice execution from the Suns with their ball movement there.
This will really hurt the Dockers if he's successful here. This will be 3-0 in this term. If he's successful, it's not bad off the boot. Oh, it's just gone to the left-hand side. So a bit of a let-off for the Dockers there. Shilly Jew was really willing that one home on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. But you really got to make the most of your opportunities this afternoon. A misty rain continues to fall here at Metricon.
And it's 2-3-1 behind in this quarter, Suns' way. And here they come again. Picked up by Swallow, sends that into space. High ball for Ellis. Collier coming in late. Cox over the back, knew Clark was there. Looking for Young over the top. Under pressure from Ellis. Off the deck goes Anderson. Picked up by Jeffrey. He's going to bring down more rain with that ball. And about 20 metres up in the air, Chapman comes down. Witts has already snapped one in this term. Doesn't get much on it. They get over the back of Swallow. Comes out to Mundy. Witts getting down low again, the big fella. Sliding in on his knees, taking the mark as Griffin Logue. As that rain has really picked up here at Metricon Stadium. And it is the Suns holding a very handy 12-point lead.
So Young
Keep out, Brendan. Stand, Rat.
goes out to Collier.
Slow going, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a real scrappy affair, Blackie, and everyone's just really taking a breath now and saying, just settle things down here, boys, because no one's really travelling that well at the moment. Maybe we have to reassess things. Ballard just hacks it inside 450 again. Chol outnumbered here. In a good position, though. Stayed front and centre. Marby or Chol for his second. Got it.
Wow.
So he made the most of that opportunity. It was actually smart in the end, or maybe lazy, I don't know, whatever works for you. But he opted to stay down, didn't present a great contest. In the end, it fell for him, probably fortuitously, but he made the most of it, snapped it around, and that's his second real handy one for the Gold Coast Suns. So they now move to 5-4-34. The Dockers are 2-4-16. 24 plays second term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a good drop.
Well, just a really clever piece of play from a big bloke again, where the ball came in. He just couldn't quite get to the aerial contest. He let the little fella in Ainsworth do that, but he stayed front and centre, and like the first goal in the first quarter from Big Jared Witts, he stayed front and centre, and that's more often than not, even in these wet, slippery conditions where the ball will come. And maybe O'Chol, he's been a great acquisition for this Gold Coast Suns side this season. Well done.
Back in the middle, Brodie on Miller, Witts on Darcy. Witts will get the hit out and then get the kick. Still inside the centre square, though. Bodies diving on the footy. Brodie trying to farm out yet another handball into space. He does, but it is picked up by Rankin. Measures that ball on the left out wide, looking for Ainsworth. Little nudge there from Jordan Clark. Legally, said the umpire. Goes with a high ball to the wing. Schultz knows he's out of position. Did he get into Butterick? Umpire said no again. They're going to let it go in these greasy conditions. Now to Frederick, looking for Erasmus. Brings the ball under control now, running away from the traffic. He tumbles a ball up towards the pocket. Frederick again getting involved, a one-on-one with Farah, but the Suns getting back in numbers. Miller swings it out wide to Rankin. Went past him though. Now Young has a free man in, right under pressure from Rankin. Good tackle. Umpire again waves play on. Jeffrey just kicking for territory. Into space. It'll bounce in the 50 now. Clark will measure that. How will the umpire see it? Is that insufficient intent? No, they're going to throw it back in. Just inside the 50, Suns attacking in.
Oh, he achieved exactly what he wanted to achieve there, Jordan Clark, in taking it over the boundary line, but it's 40 metres out from the Gold Coast goal line. And they love this scenario, just being 2 or 3 goals in front. They lift, they run a little bit harder, the Suns. I guess that goes for any side when you've got some scoreboard pressure there. Here's Rankin again. Was he taken without the footy? Yes, he was. So Rory Lobb was the offender on that occasion. In fact, it was Chapman, sorry. And Isaac Rankin should go back and have a shot on goal. He's talking to Chapman at the moment. Umpire saying, come back. Chapman's not. Or maybe he's happy standing where he is. I don't know.
Well, the Suns are first to the ball at the moment, champs. They're doing a great job of getting in there first. And as we know, you get rewarded so much. Rankin here will have looks like he's going to do the drop punt from about 45 metres out. But, the Suns been rewarded on their effort to get in after that first ball, that slippery, wet ball, and doing a really good job to get the ball forward on the back of it.
All right, so Isaac Rankin, 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. This would be really handy. Good off the slipper. Is it staying? No, just to the left-hand side. It just slid a little right to left. Possibly the breeze just pushing that a little bit at the northern end here at Metricon Stadium. But I'm liking what I'm seeing with their body language at the moment. They're up and about the Suns. They understand that they're a massive chance here against the Dockers. 35 plays 16, 27-minute mark of this second term, BT.
Ryan has to be careful as he goes for a short pass in his defensive 50. Finds Jordan Clark. And the Suns have done well again to close off their exit option. So he's going to have to drive it long. It's a really long kick. Got some good purchase on that. Right on the siren of half-time. His target was Darcy. Geez, we've loved that battle with Jared Witts for SKG Radiology. Now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. At half-time, it's the hit-outs. We spoke about this in the pre-match. The Dockers way 20-19, but it is the Suns with their noses in front. They have a 19-point lead in the wet. 5-5-35 Gold Coast. The Dockers are 2-4-16 at half-time. What can Justin Longmuir conjure up to get them back into this contest? The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water at half-time. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Twenty seconds. 10 seconds.
'M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. One battery, corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
Yes, halftime at a misty Metricon Stadium. It is the Suns by 19 points. They turned it on in that second quarter, 5-5-35. The Dockers goalless, just their second goalless term of the year, 2-4-16. The goal kickers at the half, the only multiple goal kicker, Marbia Chol, both in that second term, set it alight. Casbolt won, Swallow, Witt's got the first of the game, and for the Dockers, it was Erasmus with his first goal in league footy, and Michael Frederick as well, both, of course, in that first quarter. Halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, their 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, one battery, corded type power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. To talk us through the first half, Simon Blackie.
Yeah, BT, good, great contest from the Gold Coast Suns, particularly in that second term, as you said. They fought their way back in the inside 50 battle. Their work around the ball, +5 in clearances. They're a couple up with contested possession, so they're really holding their own against the Dockers around the middle of the ground. And as we know, it's as the rain comes down here again, still it's pretty simple football. In the clinches, generally it's that style, one handball kick, just get it forward, get some territory. And the Gold Coast Suns are doing it really well. And Marbio Chol in that second term kicked the 2 goals, and he looks up and about. He looks fantastic for the Suns. And yeah, just their inside 50s efficiency at 53%, which in these conditions is fantastic. So the Fremantle Dockers going at 39%. The Suns look like the back of last week's win chance where you were in Sydney against the Swans. They've gained a lot of confidence from that, and they've come against a high quality side in the Dockers, and they're really sticking to their guns. And the Dockers came out in that first quarter and had +13 inside 50s, but in the second term they turned it all around, the Suns, and they are very impressive in this first half.
They shut down Will Brodie, which was pretty important. They did that. I'd like to see his Red Z Lenders first quarter comparative to his second quarter, but they started to work harder. They started to run forward to the footy and took a couple of risks, but gained a lot of confidence in doing so. Once they put the scores on the board, that then sort of puts the pressure back on the Dockers for them to worry about the Suns rather than the Suns worrying about the Dockers like they clearly did in that first term. So have we got a differential there with
yes, we do.
With Will Brodie?
Yeah, he had the six in the second term and 9 in the first. So he's been important playing against his old side for Freo, but it's been a game where you've obviously just got to take your chances. You can see Fremantle doing a lot of good things. They're trying to get numbers around the ball. We've said several times that the numbers around the ball are in the favour by 1 or 2 for Fremantle, but the Suns have been able to get some, that second term in particular, some opportunistic goals and some good entries, good looks inside forward 50, and they deserve this lead at half time. So Justin Longmuir is going to have a bit of work to do to get his side back into this. I mean, it's only a 3-goal lead, but it's a game where Fremantle got to find their best form, and I'm sure they will in this third quarter.
Now, in terms of the way the Dockers are moving the ball, they've had enough inside 50s to generate more scores, but Sam Collins taking 5 marks in the second quarter in the wet. So how do they move the ball a bit better in this second half, Blackie?
Well, what they've done when they've moved the ball, they've got that extra number, and that look inside forward 50 has been a nice unpressured kick, if you like, but they haven't had a forward really coming out, get a nice easy chest mark, and that's what you need. They had a lot of long high kicks, which has favoured Sam Collins, which has favoured Charlie Ballard, and so Freo's method going inside 50 probably needs a little bit, they would lower the eyes a little bit, but need a forward coming at you to get that inside 50 mark, because it's obviously generally a shot on goal.
because they've got some strong intercept players, don't they, the Suns, in Ballard, Powell and Collins, which makes them very difficult to break down. We spoke about how miserly the Dockers' defence is, but, the Suns are pretty good as well.
They've got some good rebounders off half-back as well.
Will Power's a beauty. Lemons.
Power's been great. Lemon's been good. Lockie Weller's been outstanding. His Triple M Red Z lenders at half-time, Blackie?
He's had the 9 touches. He's had the 4 rebound 50s as Will Power have as well. So Will Power's the leading possession getter on the ground with 16. Tuke Miller's got 14, Noah Anderson 13, and for the Fremantle Dockers, Will Brodie 15, Brayshaw 14, and Cox 14 as well.
Yeah, so that half-back rebound has been really important. They're the major ball winners at the moment for the Suns, so they're giving them the opportunities. There's been a little bit of luck go their way, but I think they're moving the ball a lot quicker than what they were in the first term, which doesn't enable Dockers to get back, so gives their forwards more opportunities for shots on goal. Marbior Charles just made the most of those couple, just really snapping pretty quickly, and he's looking dangerous. So Stuart, you'll be very happy at the moment being in the sheds at half-time with that to 19-point lead.
Well, one of Charles' goals came from a crumb. They've won 7 forward 50 ground balls in that term, 4 more than the Dockers. I don't feel like, Schultz has had a big impact or Banfield's playing as kind of a medium-small forward. Erasmus has been lively, but in terms of that, Justin Longmuir or Blackie would like a bit more out of his small forwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it becomes a simple game in some respects in these conditions. If you're going to kick it long and high and bomb it in, which Fremantle have a lot, you need your small forwards to get front and centre in that pack. And I think that'll be a bit of their discussion at half-time here for the Dockers around how they can, their entries inside forward 50 would be a little bit cleaner, a little bit tidier. And if they are forced to kick long and high in there, let's get just our tours, fight for it in the air, bring it to ground and get our smalls to work. So, but we know what Fremantle have done. They persist hard all season. They've been a consistent performing side. So they've got a bit of work to do, and looking forward to seeing how they shrug it off in the second half.
Yeah, in a low-scoring game, you would back them to fight back in the second term. Amy Clangers, who covers Clangers on and off the field? Amy does. Jack up the back tells me there's been too many Clangers to pick out. He thinks the whole game has been. I think it's been a pretty, tight affair considering the conditions here today. No other live games at the moment, but choice hotels around the grounds. At about half an hour's time, we'll have the Giants and Blues from Giants Stadium, and then the late game, it's the Eagles at home to the Demons. Of course, the Dockers trying to close the gap, jump above the teams like the Brisbane Lions and just get up to that top position. Of course, if Melbourne win, they will remain unbeaten today. Need a break book, by the way. Book, direct and save with Choice Hotels. ChoiceHotels.com. More to come in our halftime break for Bosch Power Tools. It is the Suns, of course, by 19 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That halftime break for Bosch 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools. 1 battery, corded power. Backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Till Triple M rocks footy. Triple M rocks footy. Till Triple M rocks footy. Seconds till Triple M rocks footy. Seconds till Triple M rocks footy. Seconds till Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Yeah, the weather hasn't improved too much during that halftime break. There's a few lights on, not the full lights. There's probably about, in fact, they're all different there, Richard Champion, as I welcome you back. We've got one pylon with about a dozen lights on, and then one on the right with about 7. Might be a few globes out.
A little bit weird to work out the lighting configuration at the moment and why. Maybe it's a bit of a darker pocket down here. BT, I'm not quite sure, but both teams back out onto Metricon, just going through their warm-up drills again. It'll be interesting to see what was said in the respective camps at halftime. Gold Coast Suns will be travelling pretty well. They'll be very happy with that second quarter. Dockers, not so much. I reckon they need to get back to what they did in the first term. I think there was a little bit of a breeze favouring the end that they will be kicking to in this third term. But if they don't get a few goals on the board and the Gold Coast do sort of stem, then once again, well, it really falls in the favour of the Suns for that final term. So a really important quarter coming up.
Yeah, I think Sarong got a fair bit of footy in that second term. He can lift them. And, of course, Andy Brayshaw as well, second in the Coaches Association votes, as we spoke about in the pre-match. He's had it 14 times. Will Brodie's had it 15. And Nat Fyfe not too far away, perhaps just before the mid-season bye, started training during the week, coming back from that back injury. And they said during the week that won't force Will Brodie out. They'll just split their time between midfield and forward. Still a half-time break for Bosch Power Tools, the 18-volt bi-turbo brushless tools, 1 battery corded power, backed by a 6-year warranty guarantee. Simon Black, can the Suns go on with it from here, or do you think that the Dockers have another punch they can land?
Well, I think the Freo will lift. They will no doubt find something in this second half. But the Suns, I mean, they showed a lot of courage, a lot of fight last week. So they're a much improved side at times this year, and they're improving. They're showing that in recent weeks as well. So I'm backing Freo to come back here to make a real game of it. It's going to be a fantastic battle to see what spirit and heart the Suns have got when Freo come. But hopefully we can. It's started to dry up just a little bit here, but hopefully we get a second half without much rain and becomes a great contest.
And this quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores nationwide, expert trade teams and exclusive trade services, a huge range of lights, fans and accessories, making every tradie's job easier. Beacon Trade, let's make light work. It's not light work out here, it is pretty tough, and it's not getting any easier. It's just kind of drizzle and mist that's been falling, and very muggy as well. It's not a cold day, it's very warm. So Rory Lobb and James Aish, I think we mentioned in the first quarter, normally the long sleeves got the short sleeves on, as does Darcy, who's just staring down Jared Witts in the middle. And we are about to get this second half underway. Brayshaw on Miller, I can see Swallow on Mundy, and Sarong is next to Matty Rao. With half the lights on, let's get this second half underway for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks Footy. It's the Suns by 19 points. Here is Richard Champion.
Thanks, PT. Looking forward to this third term. Darcy, umpire throws it up. Witts puts his feet up first. Got it towards Swallow. Got a little handball to Took Miller, who puts it in towards Big Levi. Couldn't quite clunk the mark. Holman down at ground level. Here's Weller again, being very good. Is that in the back? No, says the umpire. He's giving the benefit because of the conditions here at the moment.
Good tackle.
And he just said it's a good tackle, as you heard. The umpire's exclusively mic'd up for Triple M this afternoon. 40 out from the Suns' goal.
Witts into space, clever, looking for Rankin. Got it out to Anderson. Looks up, will he have a shot?
Oh, wow.
Through!
What a start.
What a snap from Noah Anderson, back in the side this week. He gets his first goal. Got knocked around a bit in that first quarter, but he has delivered to start this third term. Gold Coast moved to 6-5-41. The Dockers at 2-4-16. That on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, Simon Black.
Oh, he's been such an important player for this Gold Coast Suns, really elevating his game, the number two draft pick here. And the 5 goals up until this point have all been turnover goals. This is the first stoppage goal of the game, and Noah Anderson just really good movement through the contest, through the stoppage area. Isaac Rankin got a nice little handball out to him. And on that left foot shoe, beautiful drop punt to start brilliantly for the Gold Coast Suns in this second half.
And his dad, Dean, loved a goal kick, 4 in the 89 grand final. And Noah Anderson, 16, 22 and 27. His disposal averages in his 3 years of AFL footy, he just keeps getting better. Can the Dockers respond to you, James?
Yeah, all of a sudden, 25 points is the margin here early in this third term. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy back at the restart. The Dockers trying to do something about it. Darcy, quick kick, really wasn't fantastic, but Tracy made some sort of a contest. Schultz up towards Frederick, punched away from him. Suns have the numbers, but they are under pressure. Lemons just swats it out of there. Out of bounds would be handy. Ace tries to keep it in play. He manages to do so. He's got some support. And a little kick inside forward 50. And we was looking for Erasmus, who's been very good in the first half, punched over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in just inside the 50 for the Dockers.
Dockers only had the 1 inside 50 mark in that first half, so their method going forward needs to tighten up a little bit more in this second half to give themselves some better looks at goal.
Last goal came at the 24-minute mark of the first term to Frederick. Now the Suns coming out of defence. Aish thought that went 15. He's looking over at the umpire. He can only ask the question. It's tackled there by Clark, so we're at the point of the square. There's Mundy and Anderson in front of the 2 ruckmen. Over the back, though, to Aish. Tackled by Witts and Weller. The umpire will come in, and we will do it again. Brett Thomas, Richard Champion, Simon Black and Belinda Mellon with you today as the ump throws it up. Darcy just lost sight of the ball. Witts looking for Weller. Mundy picks it up with one hand, and Rao tackles him over the top. A real awkward kind of tackle, and the umpire will save the day and will rush in and throw it up again. So the Suns were the first of the third term. Their lead is 25 points, champs.
Anderson, quick kick from that stoppage. Marby or Chol comes out to meet it, overruns it though. Coming away is Logue. He's pressured by Chol, though. He got a little handball away towards Sarong. He's dumped to the ground. Here's a chance for the Suns. They have the numbers here. Here's Weller, been very good this afternoon. Has time and space for a bounce. He lowered the eyes. The kick wasn't fantastic, though. And this is really going to favour the defence of the Dockers out towards Aishu. Had a couple of grabs at it, but managed to complete the mark and control that footy. Outer side wing. Miller minds the mark. He goes long down the line. He's looking for Lobb, who was caught behind. In fact, Collins took front position, which was a good place to be, and Lobb had no option but to punch it over the boundary line for a throw-in. 65 metres out from the Dockers' goal. They are kicking towards the northern end of Metricon in this third term. It has been the scoring end in this first half at least.
Hasn't been Lobb's day so far, just the 2 possessions, Triple M Red Z lending stats, but they haven't really kicked it to him too well. He goes back to the goal square, but the Suns again get the clearance through Anderson, although it'll be turned over in the middle through Clark and Young. Juggled the ball, a bit fumbly, Brayshaw out wide. Ryan clean to Sarong, and Sarong checks his kick and finds a short pass to Aish. He's had it here a couple of times.
He's had it this is his 14th touch. He had a big week last week, only the second time in his career having 30 touches, so he's spending more time up around the middle of the ground, BT. As the ball goes out of bounds just inside the forward 50 for Fremantle. But yeah, they're starting to use him a little bit more up around the middle of the ground. James Aish, that's a good ball user, good in tight.
Triple M Seabus super special comments from the Brownlow medalist Simon Black, making hard work pay off as from the boundary throw-in, Miller swoops on the footy and gets a little shepherd there from Fiorini on Collier, drives it toward the wing outer side. Young picks up the loose footy, ground ball get into Sarong. Sarong to Clark with a bit of time. Standing start, getting back. It will suit Thompson, fresh aired it. Might come off to Schultz. We said he needed to lift. He got it off his bootlaces. Through for a rush behind, and Lockie Schultz is definitely a player who could spark them in this term. 6-5-41 the Suns, 2-5-17 the Dockers.
So Butterick receives the kick out. There's a spare footy on the ground. I'm not sure why the umpire doesn't just sucker it off himself.
Move it on, play on.
He's called to play on now, Butterick. So he does. That kick is a little short, and I think the free kick's going to be given to Akers here. He almost completed the mark, but Ellis come in and applied some pressure, and too much, says the umpire. So Akers goes to the top of the square. Well, there's no one there. Collins could have actually marked that. Took Miller, though. He's got 4 to beat. He got pushed in the back. Play on, says the umpire. And it fortuitously goes out of bounds because the Dockers had the numbers back there. If they could have repelled that, Akers had, well, literally Akers, to get it back within the forward 50 again. So the Suns holding up here at the moment.
They certainly are. Just in some other footy news, Jack Steele, the Saints skipper, to miss 2 months due to shoulder surgery. Saints and the Dockers fighting for top 4 positions, and they've got a fight on their hands here, Fremantle, as Mundy is tackling Took Miller, always first at the coalface, those two. And the umpire will throw it up again. 55 out. Again, the Dockers with the ball around their 50, but just been unable to get some direct entries, clean entries in their attack as Sarong buffets Ellis over the boundary line and out of bounds. For McDonald's, by the way, My Macca's Rewards has arrived, champs. Order your Friday night footy feed via the My Macca's app and score reward points today.
Perfect. That's the way to do it. We'll go down to Belinda Mellon pretty soon. She's got some news for us boundary side as Darcy and Wicks go about it. Ellis, again, picking up a lot of touches as he did last week. It's gone over the boundary line, wing position, Coventry side of Metricon, so that does give us an opportunity to go down to Belinda Mellon thanks to Bob Jane T-Mark.
Yes, right in front of me the action is right now, champs, as Nick Holman comes from the field bleeding from the right eyebrow. Blood rule sent him off the field. Doctors patching him up right now. He'll be fine to come back on.
Thanks, B, at Bob Jane T-Mark. Buy a set of 4 monster wheels and off-road tyres and enter to win an Austrac Telegraph X-Camper trailer.
Fiorini from the boundary throw-in, got it to Miller, looks up right half forward. Chol again from behind, Griffin Logue playing him in front, slides in and takes the mark out to Akers.
50th game today, Griffin Logue, I should say. He's been an important cog in that defence for Fremantle.
Number 1 defensive side in the AFL as Akers having a good year so far. Up to Tracy, threw his hands over the back, followed up well, tried to tap into space, was collected there by Connor Butterick, and that ball goes out of bounds yet again.
Now, champs, I've got something for you here. A little bit left to centre. I want you to take a look at Lockie Schultz and Neil Erasmus when they're on the ground. They both just run off for the bench. They are dead ringers for each other. Erasmus is a bit taller than Lockie Schultz, but they move exactly the same. Look similar. I want to get your thoughts on that one.
All right, no worries. Schultz, I thought you'd be a little bit smaller, is he, Blackie?
Yeah, he's
in stature.
10 or 12 centimetres smaller, but don't worry about that. They are dead ringers for each other from what are we, 60 metres away at least anyway.
Here's another couple out there in with the Dockers as well. And we speak of Aish, of course. And Collier, both move pretty similar. Similar looking features.
The long hair
kick
champs.
here to Chapman. So he takes his time. Wing position again. Gee, he ran his distance and now just progresses the ball as far as he can inside the forward 50. Ballard gets 2 fists on it and puts it towards the boundary line where Butterick also sees it over. So I don't think the Suns would mind this. Stewie G wouldn't mind this either, just clogging things up early in this third term, Blackie. And just making it really hard for the Dockers to get some space.
Yeah, it's been a real slog in there, 50. Chol jumped a little bit too early. No one marking Swallow. He just gets a hurry kick. Pierce got the fist to it, went behind him low, good through traffic. Got it to Brendan Cox, who's been classy in heavy traffic today. To the safe boot of Ryan. Swings the ball out wide to Aish. So they're better ball users combining, but they're on half back. It's when they get forward of centre that's been the issue. And he's a bit indecisive here, Aish, but he's got a switch of play. And Cox needs to take the mark and then look for Ryan over the top. In fact, Ryan just held up because Logue was ahead of him. So he didn't want to draw another defender in that direction. Now they go up the line to Akers. They're on the wing, the broadcast side. Clark was the option inboard, but Weller chopped that off. So Akers he'll keep it going boundary side to 2 big men. Tracy in front, Darcy getting forward as well. Brody kept it in. Tucker did well. If you combine Darcy and Tucker, you get Ducker. And that ball goes, unfortunately, out of bounds on the full.
You get what?
Ducker. Here is Lemons driving them out of defence, champs.
I'm glad Fredericks wasn't involved in that piece of play, PT, as the ball comes out towards Holman. Now it spills out here to Akers. He's been important. He's tackled, though. That's holding the ball, I think. He didn't dispose of it legally. So that's a free kick. And Holman, it's an ugly-looking kick. It's going to come off, though. I thought almost a free kick there to Jeffrey. Play on, says the umpire. Ball in dispute. Here he is again, Holman. Little handball, not so good. Butters up again. So second, third efforts are really good. Butterick waits for it, or he's tripped over by his own teammate. Now Miller, can he settle things down? No, he can't. He's picked it out of bounds on the full.
You wouldn't put this one in the time capsule this last 3 minutes, champ.
Real messy bit of play, Blackie. Just a bit putrid footy for mine. Now Young has it. Let's see what he can do with it. He's between wing and left half back for the Dockers.
It's a 4-goal lead to the Suns. 6-5-41, 2-5-17. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 11 and a half minutes gone in this third term. And again, it's just up the line, dump it down the line type of stuff from the Dockers. And Thompson gets 2 bites of the cherry and sends it out of bounds. I've got to say, it's a modest crowd, Blackie, but they're quite vocal over this broadcast side, aren't they? They clapped them off at halftime.
Yeah, the Suns supporters very impressed with them at halftime, as they should be. And the Freo interstate don't get a massive crowd generally, but
But they've been 3-0 on the road this year, the Dockers, but they're up against it right now. Mundy and Ellis combining, but again, another boundary throw-in. It's been a quarter of stoppages so far. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy.
You saw the forecast on the Gold Coast last week. You wouldn't have made the trip across, would you? But Freo got their work to do here. They've got to find something. It's going to start around the contest area. Every time Suns have won this year, they've won the contested ball battle. We see a free kick here to Tuke Miller. But the Suns are doing a very good job around the ball. They're holding their own and they start this third quarter well.
And again, Miller not even looking laterally. This is obviously a ploy of the day. Just get it long down the line. And that's just, ill-directed or ill-disciplined by the Suns because there was no one there at the full. But Logue actually dropped probably what he should have taken. Young slides in, does really well in the end. He's got Pierce in support, but he's immediately tackled by 3 Suns players. Ball now spills free. Holman dumped around the footy. Ellis just kicks it off the ground. Let's see what Rankin can produce here. I really well picked up by Akers, though. He beat him to the footy and then just hacks it out of that danger zone. The tap down towards Ellis again. Dumped without the footy for mine. No, says the umpire. Mundy, quick handball. And up and under. Collins will run onto this. Did really well just to get a fist on it and force it out of bounds for a throw-in. A messy bit of play, but the Suns have come up trumps, I think, after that. Throw in at right half forward.
Yeah, not pretty, but it's a hell of a contest, isn't it? It's a real battle. Everything is hard work. It's the one handball, get the ball in the boot for some territory at the moment with these slippery conditions.
Here is Witts with the right hand. Brayshaw in front of him, though. Got it to Akers. He's racking up a few touches in this term. We'll get those in a moment. Triple M Red Z lending stats. Flying high early was Farah. I think his opponent was Frederick, who stayed down. Now he's got Banfield. If he can hit that target, he can. Just outside the 50. Collier is the deepest target. Not sure where the big blokes are, so he switches it. It's a clever switch if it comes off. Just hung up in the air, though. Fiorini came in late on Aish, who was there for an eternity on his own. Picked up by Farah. Slaps an ugly ball up towards Witts, just backpedaling, couldn't take the mark. And a nice shrug there from Chapman trying to work his way through traffic. Did to Sarong. Sarong out wide now. Brody, run down by Rankin. Just got the kick away. Miller will swoop on the footy.
Read it really well. Now what's he got ahead of him? Again, a poor kick. There were some options on.
Clark does that very well. Which kept the eye on the board, saw where the ball was going before his direct opponent, and another intercept mark for Freo's backline.
So he read it well and switched it laterally to Akers, who now will just bomb it long down the line to left half forward. Pack flies. Collins, little handball underground towards Ellis, who sees it towards the boundary line and will take it over. Big Suns getting up a little gingerly there, Blackie.
Yeah, big Witsy, a big ruckman for the Suns. Went back with the fly of the ball in that pack, as you see here in the Harvey Norman replay, and he copped a decent knee in the back there, right? Probably the kidney area.
I think Jai Farah come up second best there as well.
Harvey Norman need a new laptop or mobile shop. Harvey Norman, we have all the big brands. Now it's a lob. Coming up the ground, trying to get involved as Brayshaw hung on to Anderson for a while. Anderson
tackle.
Finally got a boot to it. And there is Holman, who's been mummified with the bandage around his forehead, tackling Young and forces another boundary throw-in. And the Suns will be happy with this. They're the ones with the 4-goal lead in tough conditions. 15 and a half minutes gone. Just the one goal in this term. That was early on to Noah Anderson. And the Dockers just the one behind on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Witts now to do the ruck against Lob. Taps it down. Brody, little handball over the top was good. Ellis just met the ball hard. That's what they want. Anderson, quick kick inside forward 50. The pressure is all on Pearce and the Dockers now. Pearce comes out to meet it. Here's Ellis again, really playing an important part to the top of the square. Aish is there, drops the mark, spills free. Here's a chance. The handball, though, is a little astray. And the Dockers are going to come up. Is that holding the ball, though? Umpire letting it go. Brody, handball to Anderson. Didn't have the footy. Really hard to handle at the moment. Pack forms. Spills out. Lob tries to handball over the top towards Tucker. And it's just really a hacking affair. Ellis eventually gets boot on ball up towards full forward territory. It spills free. Where's it going to get to? Rankin does something special. Sells some candy. Shot on goal. Right hand side. Just through for a behind. That would have been a very exciting goal from Rankin, who hasn't managed to put one on the board this evening as yet, or this afternoon. 16 and a half played third term. That's on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Bit of class. 48 minutes since Fremantle Dockers have kicked their last goal, boys. It's been a long time coming, and you sense at the moment the urgency of the moment in this game. They've lifted their intensity, the Dockers, and they know they need to get some scoreboard pressure here.
And the man who kicked the last goal, Frederick, diving on the wing, trying to take the mark. He got the handball recovered pretty well. Brayshaw out wide. Aish, heaps of time to measure it up the line. Although it was a hot pass. Banfield under pressure, or Schultz under pressure from Powell. Got the free kick for chopping over the back. The Dockers will take that. Tracy, the long target deep. He's going to drop that towards Mundy. Coming across, reading it so well was Collins. That's a 30-metre spoil. Picked up by Chapman. The rising star sends them into attack. Fiorini maybe should have tried to mark that. Ball in dispute directly in front of the Dockers' goal. Farah has to be clean. Almost tackled. Almost didn't dispose of it correctly. Bodies diving on the footy. Banfield coming in late. Rao trying to get the footy out. And the Suns' defence will be happy for the umpire to come in and throw this up. But this is where they can create something, as Darcy and Witts will come up for this ruck contest.
Dockers, they need a goal. They need a little steadier, a bit of a confidence booster here. What can they do? Matty Rao needs to get rid of it. Could have been holding the ball. No, says the umpire. He's letting play on, which is good in these conditions. Very difficult. Flying over the top was Logue. He wants to get on with the business, so he does. He puts it to the pocket. It's too far. It's out of bounds on the full. They're trying to make something happen. It's just not working for them at the moment, Blackie.
No, it's not. You've got to hand it to the Suns. Their pressure, the hold up at the moment has been first class. Just quickly leading possession getters for each side. For the Suns, Miller leading the way with 20. Anderson also 20. Willpower 15. And for the Dockers, Brody 20. Brayshaw 18. And Cox 18.
Red Z Lending stats. Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed.
And it's the Suns by 25 points. There's a lot of whistles going off here. We are on the wing broadcast side, and the arm points.
Well, why wouldn't you play on then?
Well, it's actually pointed in the Suns' direction, but they're doing it. Anyway, here is...
No, they wanted advantage play because Chol was off, BT.
Okay. Well, now Chol is going to make his way to right half forward. Casbold across half back.
That's a dangerous...
That's a risky kick. He has found Collins. That'll be mark number 7, I think. Triple M Red Z Lending stats. Took 5 of them in the second quarter. Gets it off to Powell. A real grubber kick, but no one around. Holman, who's lifted in this term, swings that in the Chol direction. Logue, speaking of taking marks across the fence, he's plucked a few of those today in his milestone game, but he needs to get it moving. There's no switch of play, though, Blackie. They've chopped off that option pretty well, the Suns, today, haven't they?
They have defensively, yep, been very impressive to this point.
Chapman under pressure.
Well done.
Holman swinging on him. And again, a boundary throw-in. We are 60 out from the Suns' end, and their lead remains at 25 points. 6-6-42, 2-5-17. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboards supporting tradies. Over 120 store. Beacon Champs makes every tradies job easier.
One word to describe the Suns at the moment, or actually for this whole game, has been desperation. And again, that was a classic example right there, not giving up on the chase and just getting some sort of spoil or pressure on the ball handler. And that mark should have been taken by Jai Farah. He butters up, though, with a second effort towards Chol. Chol, what can he do? He's got Rankin in support. He taps it towards Isaac Rankin. Got rid of one. Holman, pressured, kick. Rankin again. Little handball. Weller, brilliant, hit the post.
Rankin, brilliant.
So good, wasn't he, Blackie? He just gave some opportunities to other teammates that were in the van around him. He worked really hard just tapping the ball in their pathway, and Weller almost secured another goal for them and just hit the pass with the check side. But they're doing all the scoring at the moment. 6-7-43. The Dockers 2-5-17. Still haven't scored a goal for a long time. 21 played in this third term. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
As we come up to Noah Anderson, who can swing it and send them back in the 50 toward the boundary in the 50-metre line. Logue handball smothered by Miller, and Holman, who's really alive in this third term. Nick Holman, he must have got a little wake up when he copped that little nick to his forehead, and he is creating all sorts of havoc across half forward with his pressure. As the ruckman on their haunches, Witts picks himself up, and Darcy got the space, picked up the footy, claimed immediately, but managed to get the handball. And they're looking for Sarong. Great up there from Miller. Miller's handball, though, into space to no one in particular. Erasmus got it to Darcy, just kicking for territory. Ballard should have called Collins back to take that chest mark. Kind of bumped into him and spoiled him. Front on tackle from Banfield on Collins. Umpire says today, but at least the Dockers have gained some territory here. And again, they trail by 26 points. 22 minutes gone now in this third term chance.
Charlie Ballard did put his hand up towards Sam Collins after that contest there, BT, and did say, sorry, I should have called you back. And it's good courage by Butterick, I think it was, going back with the flight, or running with the flight of the footy, but really didn't know what was coming the other way.
He's a great competitor, isn't he? Not much of a little Butterick, but he puts his body on the line and he takes off often the best small forward for the opposition. He's a real little warrior for the Suns' defence.
This switches the ball laterally to Rory Thompson, who we spoke about earlier. If you just joined us on Triple M Footy, played his first game in 4 years last week against the Swans, and was very serviceable. So he's still finding his feet back after that amount of time with the atrocious injuries that he's had. Very bad luck indeed.
Jared, Sean.
Re-injured at training, at pre-season games, and just really bad timing for him. So we've got a throw in. Broadcast wing side of Metricon Stadium. That throw-in's gone about 4 metres inside. They'll play it on. Little handball over the top is good to Sarong. He was looking for Mundy. He missed the target. Well done, Matty Rao. Swallow, that's gone. That's holding the ball. Tried to get a handball to Miller, but unsuccessful.
Good tackle from his former teammate, Will Brodie. He can get them going and pump them into attack. Why not just be direct rather than going via the cape, which they are now. Young, although that's a good handball. Akers dropped it, though, momentarily, and then it's a hurry kick drifting toward the left forward pocket, the boundary line. And poor Rory Lobb, it just hasn't been his day in terms of the delivery in the 50. Brennan Cox has down been swung forward, which is an interesting move there from Justin Longmuir or Simon Blake.
No, you're right, BT. There's no real method the way they're going in, is there? He's bombing the ball nice and high. There's no chance for the Lobs, the Coxes, to mark the ball at the moment. It suits the Suns' defence. So they need to be a little bit more, a lot of the eyes going forward for the Dockers.
So kicked off the ground. Right, Took Miller. Akers goes in hard. He's been good. Nice tackle by Matty Rao, though. Just made sure he wasn't going anywhere in a hurry. Spilled free. Levi almost picked out Erasmus, who quickly got the ball inside forward 50. Ballard takes a mark, goes short to Took Miller. We'll get a Triple M Red Z Lending stat on when the Dockers scored their last goal, BT, if you've got that there handy.
I do. 24-minute mark first term. That was Michael Frederick.
Wow. So almost 2 quarters have surpassed. Nice bit of candy by Shawnee Lemons. And then progresses the ball up towards the wing towards Marby or Chol, and he'll be happy to see it over the boundary line. Every bit of stoppage time utilised in this third term is a win for the Gold Coast Suns, because if you've just joined us on Triple M Footy, the Suns, 6-7-43, lead the Dockers, who have only lost the 1 game so far this year, 2-5-17. 25 played third term on your Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams, and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
Aish looking for Pearce, but working in a phone box under pressure. Ranker, was it a throw or a handball? Blackie says a handball. Miller goes into attack. Ghosting across the pack from nowhere. And taking a contested mark. It was a 2-biter. He's kicked 2 already. He's lining up for number 3. This would make it very, very tough for Freo from here, Simon Blake.
It sure would. And I tell you what, Stewie Jew in the week would have said, boys, when we win the contested ball, we win the game. It happened 3 times this year, and every other 5 times we've lost a contested ball. And the Gold Coast Suns midfield today, they're doing a great job again. They're up by 8 now in the contested ball and up by 10 with clearances. So the midfield's doing a superb job.
Normally an uncomplicated set shot in terms of his routine. Just a slow wander in. And he started at left. It swung back but into the post. So he's kicked 2-2 from 6 disposals and 3 marks, Marby Achol. But really he's been the only key forward that has looked like doing anything today. His goals have come from general play. So that lead is 27 points.
Young brings it out. But again, the Suns have something to say about this. Mundy, though, went through hard. But look at the Suns and their numbers now. This wasn't happening in the first term. Miller, little handball towards Powell. He couldn't quite get enough slipper on it. Mundy again working hard there. Dockers now have the numbers. Handball swept out. In trouble, though. Beautiful tackle on Erasmus. And Ellis makes sure it goes over the boundary line. So the crowd are liking what they see here from their team, the Gold Coast Suns. They're really providing a great contest.
And energy, aren't they?
Yep, and it's appreciated, Blackie. The people have come out in this pretty ordinary weather, and they're singing out Gold Coast. They're really cheering them on right now.
And all they want to see is just the Suns have a crack, and that's what they're doing. The question is always, have they improved? Is this a different Gold Coast side? We've seen them start seasons well, 3 and 5. I mean, they're still behind the ledger, but what they're showing right now is that they have. They've still got a quarter and a minute and a half to go. Ellis got it short from Witts. So they set up down the line for this long kick, and they'll be happy with this until 3/4 time. Just going long to contest, winning the territory battle as Casbolt taps it, boundary side, tries to go off the deck. Miller waiting for that ball to spill out. Logue sees it over. 50 out from the Suns' goal. 6-8-44, still just the 1 goal in this term to 2-5-17. And in terms of scoring for the Dockers, just the 1 behind to show in this third quarter of footy.
Minute and a half to go, saying Freo need to score a goal in this last minute and a half to win the game.
You're right, Blackie. It's almost a game-winning margin at the moment. Now a push out here. It'll go to Freo and it'll go to Tracy. Will Powell, the offender, and Tracy spears that ball in. They've got the numbers here. The Suns, Lemons provide some pressure, some resistance. And now his teammates come in to lend a hand. One in Swallow, two in Ellis. Here's Miller. But Schultz has got something to say about this. Great tackle by Swallow. Ellis just hacks it out of there, just identifying that there's not far to go in this third term. Little tap. Rankin tackled, holding the ball, tried to fend off, had opportunity. So that'll be a free kick to the Dockers. But is time going to beat them? We've got about 45 seconds of play remaining in this third term. So now Akers switches play. And that's...
Oh, no, came off the head there of Chapman, but no one around him. As you heard from Simon Black, they're open on the fat side of the ground. Directs it into the middle now to Aish. Flashing pass was Ryan for the give and go. Elect not to go. They're sending it out wide. They need to go more direct now. Here's Griffin Lowe, backward of centre. I don't think he could reach the 50 from where he's positioned at the moment. Again, he's going sideways to Aish. 15 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Someone needs to tell them they've got to go straight here. The siren's going to beat them.
Surely whoever has the flashing sign on the bench with the 30 seconds remaining needs to hold it up. And there is the three-quarter time siren. Opportunity for the Dockers to at least get in their 50 just to see what would happen has gone begging. On the Beacon Trade scoreboard, it's the Suns 6-8-44, Dockers 2-5-17. Supporting tradies, over 120 stores nationwide, expert trade teams, exclusive trade services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier. At three-quarter time, the Suns with their noses in front. 27 points, is it a match-winning lead? Certainly looks like it for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M, Rucks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, expert teams and a huge range of electrical products and services. Beacon makes every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
this week only, score 20% off your entire order when you spend $10 or more. Only on the My Macca's app.
Triple M rocks footy in 3.5 minutes. 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 One minute. 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
'M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor, where good food deserves a great drop.
As the Suns turn for home, they lead by 27 points in the mist at Metricon Stadium, 6-8-44, 2-5-17. Kicked just the one goal in that term, the Suns. That's the only one they needed because the Dockers hardly troubled the scorers with just one goal themselves. For Ream Hot Water, built tough Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Simon Black, is there any way that you can see that the Dockers can get back into this and turn this match around with a quarter to go?
Oh, well, gee whiz, they're going to kick 5 goals to do it. In these conditions, they're going to have to play direct and not mess around with the footy, just go. You just sense this game. It's been played on say the Suns' terms, but the simple conditions in the wet, it's suited the way the Suns have gone about it. They've just kicked the ball long down the line a lot of the time. They've been terrific around the clearances, plus 12 for around the ground stoppages, the Gold Coast Suns. So Stewie Dew, no doubt, this week, as I said throughout that third term, would have said, boys, you know what, when we win the contested ball, and we're up by 8 at three-quarter time, and let's drive it home hard in this last quarter. So the midfield group of the Suns have really taken it to the Fremantle Dockers this afternoon. So yeah, for Freo's sake, I think direct. Go direct, get territory, one handball kick. We see the rain coming down again now at the moment. It's going to be a wet, slippery ball in this last quarter for the whole quarter, you would have thought. So get some territory and give your forwards a chance at the moment. They just keep bombing it in. If you're going to do that, get some good ground support and get the ball to the ground and just work hard.
Let's get an update from the boundary. Belinda Mellon, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Plenty of players getting their legs worked on by physios during that break. Obviously very, very heavy. I reckon the gherkin juice will come out in this last quarter to lots of cramps starting to come into the game. Neither Medisub has been used for either side, though, so that is great news going into the last quarter when legs will be tired, no doubt.
Yeah, potentially some fresh legs. We are underway, champs.
We are indeed. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, M rocks footy. Darcy and Witch do the ruck work again. Here he is, Darcy, right on cue. Just barrels one towards the top of the square. Here's a chance, Rory Lobb. We said it hasn't been his day so far. That's a throw, I think. And it is. He tried to gather the footy but lost the handle on it midway through and just threw it towards a teammate. Umpire picked it out, and so did the Harvey Norman replay screen.
And that's the way to tackle, particularly in these conditions, isn't it? Pin the arm. Pin the arm you're going to handball with, and you often get that throw as he did there, Will Powell.
Kick down towards Marby or Chol. Punched away from mid. Ballard meets his opponent really hard, and the Suns are just making sure they have numbers around the footy, which is really good to see. This was missing in the first term when they were outgunned by the Dockers, and they caught up at half-time. We had an even ball game, and they just slowly gained the ascendancy since then.
22 more inside 50s the Dockers have had in this game. They're right on their 50 now. Here is Akers, 8 touches in the third term, drifting towards the goal square. Tracy Frederick waiting for it at the back. Thompson in front. So tackled into the that left forward pocket.
Did you say the Dockers had more inside 50s?
Yes, they've had 48 inside 50s to 26.
Wow.
So Thompson has been pinged. Good tackle from Lockie Schultz rewarded. He is setting up for the snap around the corner. Left forward pocket. And we'll rush at him as soon as the umpire calls play on. 3 steps out. How does he negotiate this? It goes across the face. The goal umpire runs it a long way. It sneaks through 4 are behind. They need all the scores they can, mainly through the big sticks, but they've got a lot of ground to make up. That pegs it back to 26 points, champs.
So, again, the Dockers, no major since late in that first term for them. Lemons up towards Jeffries it was. Quick hack out of there. Now the Dockers have got the numbers here. They've got a few deep. Clark gathers the footy. And he's got Chapman free, but there's a whistle on play, and play on says, Marby or Chol, this could be big Marby. Oh, he sloughed the bloody handle on it. Kick your third, Marby. He does.
He does.
Eventually, it took a lifetime. But he was running into the open goal. He got more excited than I did during that call. lost the handle on it, regathered, and slotted it through for his third. And that's the game, you would think, Blackie. That is a match-winning lead right there. 7-8-50, the Suns to the Dockers 2-6-18. We're only just into the third minute now, almost, of this final term on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, but wow.
Just another skill error from Fremantle, slipped off the knuckle of young Jordan Clark there at half back for Fremantle, and loose ball turned over by Isaac Rankin. Nice hands out wide, wasn't it, to Marbio Chol? And Chol's, he's been a great, I've said it a couple of times this afternoon, a great acquisition for the Suns side. He presents well, works hard. He's a real presence up there.
He's got 8 disposals, may not even finish with 10, but he will probably finish in the votes. 3-2 in the wet is match-winning stuff from Marbio Chol, repaying the faith they showed when they brought him across from the Tigers. Akers, good tackle there from Miller, and rewarded. Pretty hot there, the umpire, but he has pinged him, so Miller can drive them into attack. Butterick wants him to send it sideways, but they want to go for the kill here, the Suns. It's already really beyond reach, but they can drive it into attack again and to make it that much tougher. Here is Jeffrey now. Joel Jeffrey, quiet afternoon, first game of the season. Not really conditions that would suit the son of Russell, a former Saint and Bear. Boundary throw in though, right forward pocket. Suns attacking in. It's a game-high 32-point lead.
So after the first term, we didn't think there'd be any team reaching around the 50 points for the game. The Suns are first to it at the moment. Touch ball coming out from Tucker's kick. Handball over the top's okay towards Frederick, but he couldn't keep it in play and will ball it in out of side. Rain continues to missly fall down here. Pretty much been the same right throughout the contest, which has made it really hard for the players to handle the footy in a clean manner. But the Suns have handled the conditions better. No doubt about that. Darcy and Witch to do battle in the ruck again.
Defensive side of the contest where the Suns have numbers, and Rouse swings that over the head of Chol, past Rosas Jr., past Aish, and some good territory here's gained there as it gets just that little bit darker here at Metricon. 32 points again, the Suns lead. The Dockers need to score 7 more points, otherwise this will be among their top 3, or bottom 3, lowest scores ever for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, great stat from Jack up the back as Miller coming through with strength through the traffic, but the Dockers get it back. Good handball over the top from Tucker to Sarong, kicks them into attack. Thompson the front position, Lemons coming through, read that well to Allison. Now they're out of danger.
Gee, that was a good kick around the corner, Holman, and Ellis ends up with the footy. Edmonds has been solid.
Looking more composed down back these days, aren't they, the Suns?
Yeah, they are indeed. Their rebound's been very impressive, Blackie. So Darcy tried to soccer it off the ground, unsuccessful at doing so. Short little kick is in and okay. And now the Suns have some numbers forward. Jeffrey, little kick. Oh, he's let himself down on that occasion. And Ryan takes the intercept mark inside 50, or defensive 50 from their perspective. But the Dockers have just got nothing going forward. They want to go lateral, and the Suns have sort of beat them at their own game. They're setting up very similar to what the Dockers have done all game.
Yeah, you'd have to say this is a really good coaching performance, Blackie, from Stuart Dew today. I mean, every week, especially Melbourne media, he seems like he's under pressure. The spectre of Alistair Clarkson looms large, but in terms of a coaching performance, how would you rate this today?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. And the players have adapted to the conditions really well. So that, message trickled down beautifully well, kept it simple, won the territory battle really well, and around the ball, as you say. I mean, Took Miller's had 10 clearances. He's been superb to lead the way for the Suns midfield.
Triple M Seabus super special comments. Simon Black making hard work pay off. Talk us through that, Champs. Take
Holman took a fly at it, couldn't quite bring it down. They've got it inside forward 50 again, the Suns here. Logue under pressure, trying to pick it up. Working hard is Weller. Well done, Logue, though. He kept at it and at least got it outside the defensive 50. And it's just gone back in via the Suns. Just weird, sheer weight of numbers coming through, and they've forced the ball up 48 out now.
Suns end 7-8-50, 2-6-18, 7 minutes gone last quarter. Witt's got away from Darcy. Brodie put his head over the ball, tried hard all day. Sarong Chapman sliding in and slid out to Took Miller, just sliding the Suns' way. His kick was smothered though by Tucker. Comes out to Anderson. Butterick was the man free. Here's wobbly chaos ball inside. Logue tried to trap it with his foot. Here is Marby Atoll, and he puts the arms out and says, how good am I? Get around me. I've kicked 4 goals. I am the man. My name is Marby Atoll. He is having an afternoon. The Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, where good food deserves a great drop, reads 8856 Simon Black. The Dockers 2618.
Oh, Marbier, superb. Take a bow. He's a serious athlete, isn't he? We see here in the Harvey Norman replay. Some of the big guys in your forward line are great in the air. Don't give you much at ground level, but he's such an athlete. So good to know when to get involved early and when to rack fast at ground level, and just nice. Made it look simple, champs. I'm not sure I can add more than that. The ball kind of spilled in his lap a little bit, but he kicked it across his body on that right foot nicely. But he loves a bit of a celebration too.
It wasn't about the goal, it was about the celebration, Simon Black. It was very Usain Bolt-like. It was, how good am I? Look at this. Look at the great man. Just doing his thing for his 4th goal. And will he feature in the Triple MVP votes at the end of this term? Who will know? He's at it again, the big unit. Just flies hard. The ball spills free. That could have been a free kick against Ryan. No, says the umpire. Weller waits for it. It's going to spill to him now, trying to pick it up. The Dockers have got something to say about that. It eventually spills free. And again, Holman working really hard in there. Gets a handball away. Ainsworth puts it to the top of the square. Jeffrey working really hard. Can't bring it to ground. Well done by Rankin. Now it spills to Jeffrey again. Spills out. A little bit of candy shown by Rosas. And it's just gone to the left-hand side. But they're doing all the attacking and playing exciting footy at the moment, the Suns.
They certainly are. Oh, and there's a kick forward from Ryan. Just found Hayden Young. Still in his defensive 50. Short lead from Erasmus was ignored because he just wants to drive this a bit longer than that up towards the wing. Past Thompson and Tracy, up towards Witts and Darcy. Darcy over the footy. It's kind of slid into the ground but held on to it. Tracy trying to work the ball forward. And coming through late was Collier. Ball bounced kindly for him. It hasn't all day today for the Dockers. And it hasn't again as that ball takes a hand, and it is over the boundary line in that left forward pocket. 8-9-57 Gold Coast. 2-6-18 the Dockers. IJ Liquor scoreboard, where good food, champs, deserves a great drop.
Rankin looking to come off, and that was ignored.
Play on.
And Casbolt will come back on. So from the stoppage, it's in the dangerous part of the ground for the Suns. 20 metres out from the Dockers' goal. Frederick handballs the ball back. Oh, they've just taken too much time to get the ball forward. And has it gone through for behind? Actually hit the point post. So it'll be a throw in.
Hold the meter.
2 metres to the left-hand point post, inside the Dockers forward 50.
Play on.
If you just join us on Triple M Footy, they haven't scored a goal since late in the first term. What minute was that, BT?
24th minute.
24th minute. So they looked really good in the first term as well. They looked all over the Suns. And the Suns have just cut them to pieces since.
These lights are coming on kind of incrementally. There was like a dozen lights on. Now there's just a few more, and it's gotten a shade darker, but still just as misty. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, Brett Thomas, Richard Champion, Simon Black, Belinda Mellon. As it squirts out in the path of Brayshaw, met there by Rankin, who got there first, Rankin, and caught one high. And it's just going Gold Coast way this afternoon. The Dockers were on a 6-game winning streak. Justin Longmuir talked about consistency, improving that from last year. Last year, they'd back up a good win with a big loss. And this year, they've had a lot of good wins. Geelong in Geelong, the highlight. Last week, I think the biggest win, margin-wise, under Justin Longmuir against North Melbourne. But their colours have been lower today. Sarong across half-back now. Farm the ball backwards to Aish. Turns back to give him the go from Logue.
Kick it.
And straight there to Ainsworth. That's what he should have done. Instead, he handballed. And now Miller sends it toward the pocket. Weller diving. Second attempt couldn't take the mark. Erasmus and Logue, but it's been kept in. Holman looking for Ainsworth. Flashing pass, couldn't take it. Went back in. Got Ellis. Left foot kick toward the goal square. Fiorini somehow came in late. Got past Alex Pearce. Took the chest mark. Will line up for goal.
he just had that momentum heading towards the footy, didn't he, Blackie? And just put himself in a good position to be able to take a chest mark, probably the best way to take a mark this afternoon in these conditions.
And that probably was typified the way the game's been played after the quarter time, isn't it? The way the Gold Coast Suns have just continued to harass and get after that purple Fremantle jumper and win the ball back. And not overly pretty, but they get numbers around the ball and falls in your lap from time to time. So just through pure work rate, it's fallen in the Suns' laps this time.
The applause was for Mabia Chol coming off for a rest to join the party. Braden Fiorini on the left has kicked it. Salutes, he loves it. Gets a high five from about half a dozen of his teammates. Jared Witts just ambles over to say well done. And the Gold Coast Suns are on their way to a really impressive win. Back-to-back wins, 9-9-63, Dockers 2-6-18. All of that on the Triple MIJ Liquor scoreboard, where good food deserves a great drop.
Back-to-back wins against top 8 sides too, champ. So really impressive for the Gold Coast Suns. And I think for Queensland footy, we're crying out for the Suns to find a bit. And obviously a long way to go. But at least they're now starting to find a little bit more consistency. And we said earlier on the call how they've got 15 top 20 ranked draft picks on their list. So they've definitely got the talent. They've got enough experience now in terms of games played. So it's about time they're starting to show a bit of consistency with their footy.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy back at the restart. Here go the Dockers. Inside 50, that hasn't been the issue. The issue has been then converting them once they're inside 50. Frederick's got something to say about that. Does really well. Gathers. Little kick forward. It's going to work. And the mark's been taken by Cox. 25 metres out directly in front. This could be their first goal since the 24th minute of the first quarter, where they were on fire and looking the goods, and since then they've really dropped away. So here's Cox, Erasmus and Frederick, their goal kickers so far. Can Cox make things a little more respectable? No, he can't. Well, only by a point, if that counts for anything. And much to the cheers of the Gold Coast Suns, they thought that was pretty damn funny, him missing that. And that just makes the scoreboard look even worse. 2-7-19 the Dockers now, the Suns 9-9-63, 15 played. Final term.
As the Suns work it up to the wing, Rosas Jr., broadcast side Alice, strong tackle there from Blake Acres, has been among the Dockers' best. Bob Jane, Team Arts, Belinda Mellon.
Brandon Walker will be injected to the game very shortly. He's warming up on the boundary right now. Alex Pearce has gone down to the rooms with the team medicos after that heavy knock in by, I can't remember who the player was now, but it was a heavy knock and he got up very sore.
Thank you, B. Bob Jane Team Arts buy a set of 4 Monster wheels and off-road tyres. Enter to win an Austrac Telegraph Cross camper trailer.
Blackie, I'll get some Red Z lenders off you pretty soon. As the ball comes forward for the Suns, it's going to go over the boundary line. Levi Casbolt. Levi didn't sort of set the world on fire last week against the Swans either. Just his numbers this afternoon.
Yeah, he's had the 5 touches, 4 kicks, 1 handball, kicked the 1 goal, 1.
Okay, all right. And Marbior's obviously didn't grab it a heap last week either, but he's had a standout game this afternoon. So they're not reliant on their big forwards all the time, the Suns, as they go forward again towards Marbior. Here's Weller, again, just working really hard to put pressure on and assist the ball across the boundary. Their work rate is incredible. Holman was also there as well, but I've loved Lockie Weller's game this afternoon. I really have, and I'm not sure whether he'll feature in the votes, Blackie, but there's been some real hard workers for the Suns. It's exactly what they need. They are down on personnel a little bit at the moment. No Lukosius today, we know. Well, here's Speak of the Devil. Levi Casbolt plucked it out of the ruck and kicks his second. I was trying to help him out because it always happens. You mention someone's name and they've been quiet or whatever, and Bob's your uncle, they'll bob up and kick a goal. He's got his second, and the Suns get 10 on the board, 10-9-6-9. Dockers 2-7-19, 17 played, final term. Triple M IJ Liquor score, but IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a good drop.
We see here on the Harvey on replay with receiving Rory Lobb up against big Levi Casbolt there, and Levi Casbolt just gives him not the don't argue, but just
the Tom Hawkins.
The Tommy Hawkins, that's the one, wasn't it? The shove out of the way in that forward 50 boundary throw-in, and just catch the ball, got the boot the ball beautifully well, very fast, lovely touch, great goal, big goal from Levi.
So 2 goals, 6 disposals. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Get your next phone your way now at Harvey Norman. Best brands at the best prices. Come in store today and speak to our mobile experts. Back in the middle. Joel getting up high, tapping it down. Kick 4 out of midair. Goes Swallow up towards half forward. Casbolt tracking it near the pocket. Roses Jr. has the footy to Jeffrey. Ushered over by the Medi sub in Brandon Walker in that right forward pocket. Do you guys think that maybe after three-quarter time, if you've had no injuries, you get to activate your sub regardless?
Yeah, I reckon some rules around the Medi sub has to come into play, BT. 100% agree. I think Craig McRae also brought up an option that when one team activates it, here's a chance for Ellis now for the Suns from the stoppage. Wrong side of the footy. He tried to kick it check side and he hit it the wrong side. It's gone out of bounds on the full. When one team activates their sub, the other team should automatically be able to activate theirs because you've got fresh legs coming on and it's unfair.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? If halfway through the first quarter, if a player goes down and the team that... Yeah, obviously one team has to activate the sub. The other team, they might not want to activate the sub.
Okay, well, they don't have to, but they have the option, Blackie. I reckon. Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. That's only fair.
That would be the smart way to go about it. And you probably wouldn't activate it then either. You'd wait in case you actually require it. But I think the option should be it. So, time to rethink. They tend to rethink other things, but not the sensible things. As Mundy comes away from that free kick and tries to make something happen, got a little handball to Erasmus. Now they go forward towards Frederick, but come through Anderson, kicks it off the ground.
Races on toward the boundary. Walker, the Medi sub. Weller right there with him. And he'll get a hand up there from Fiorini.
And what it also does, Blackie, is they've got McPherson, Darcy McPherson's on the bench at the moment, not getting any game time, not getting any fitness or touch from this. So, again, it serves two purposes.
Probably run 10K around the boundary.
Afterwards.
About half an hour, much to his love.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun tonight. Here is Frederick. Here is Mundy.
Well done.
Mundy did well. His big body out of midair goes Brody tracking toward the goal square. Schultz. Will he get it before the boundary line? No. Right forward pocket. SKG Radiology, Blackie, in terms of the midfield matchups, how you've seen that today?
Well, the Suns have won the battle. There's no doubt about that. In terms of overall midfield v midfield, the contested balls and clearances are well in favour of the Gold Coast Suns.
Here is Darcy out of the ruck, still near the pocket. Banfield trying to pick it up and just fling a boot at it. Collins deep in defence. They work it out towards the goal square. Slipping and sliding Lemons. Ballard stood up in the tackle by Frederick. SKG Radiology now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. It is the Suns champs by 50 points.
Well, I'm not sure whether you're speaking to me at the moment, BT. It's a kick on goal by Darcy, and I think they have their first score on the board since the 24th minute mark of the first term. They got a goal. So well done by Darcy, who just, again, saw an opportunity in the ruck contest, grabbed it and slotted it through. Now we'll have to go to our statistician extraordinaire Jack up the back to find out whether have they surpassed their lower score or are they actually even at the moment with that.
We'll see on the Harvey Norman replay. Yeah, Darcy, beautiful job. The Tommy Hawkins, as we call it, in the forward 50 stoppages, just owned the drop zone, the ball, that ball up scenario, shoved Mario Chol out of the way, and big strong man is Darcy. And nice little quick boot to ball. Kicked obviously a very well-needed goal for Fremantle as this rain continues to fall down here. Hasn't been Fremantle's day. Interesting to see how Justin Longmuir assesses this one, and does he move on pretty quick, or does he dissect it with these conditions? I wouldn't have thought he'd sort of pull it apart too much.
You've got a lot of weeks to come, Blackie, and as Jack just told us, they've equalled their third lowest score in history of the Dockers.
Here come the Suns, though, with the immediate response in the 50. Coming through, trying to step through traffic, but tripped up was Roses Jr. Mark Miller was dumped in the ground late by Tucker, who lost sight of the footy. Umpire might have been in a bad position. Comes out now to Aish, just outside the defensive 50. Tapped it forward. Erasmus got a bump into Ainsworth, and they both slide over the boundary line and out of bounds. 55 out from the Suns' end. Their leaders, 44 points. They've got the Dogs in Ballarat next week, the Hawks, and then North Melbourne at home. But this is a great win. They'll improve to 4 and 5, and the Dockers will go to 7 and 2.
Well, you just want to be on that even kill, don't you, Blackie? The 50-50 win-loss ratio at sort of halfway of the season, and they're going to be close to that. So Stewie Jew would be reasonably happy with that at the moment. Anderson on all fours, got it to Ballard. Oh, he backed into trouble. That's holding the footy. He didn't know there was another couple behind him, so the Dockers made him pay. They want to get on with the job just to make that scoreboard look a little more respectable. Leading out and taking a good grab is Schultz. And he'll probably have a shot on goal from 45. It might test him with these sort of conditions. So Alex Pearce has an ankle issue, we're told. So Belinda Mellon might be able to fill us in a little more on what that is. And he's been subbed off for medical reasons. So Schultz yet to put a major on the board, and that's still the case. Pushed it towards the right-hand side. Another behind to the Dockers. So 3-8 their scoreboard reads, 26 to the Suns, 10-9, 69, 23 and a half played, final term, Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard.
Stay out, play on!
And Brett Thomas was telling me, we were just talking off air, which couldn't wait for Top Gun 2 to come out. He said, mate, I haven't seen the first one yet. I said, we cannot be friends. Seriously, it would come out in 1985 or 6 or something.
I was 2 or 3. The thing is, I know all the good scenes and the good lines, so that's sort of same with Dirty Dancing. I haven't seen it. Here is Chol up the line looking for Casbolt, and what a game Marbia Chol has had. Maximum impact from minimum possessions. He's kicked, 4 goals, 2, and he's had the 9 disposals, the 3 marks. He's kind of been smart in that he's let other people fly at the footy, and he's been down to crumb a couple of goals. From the boundary throw in, Fiorini into space. Miller, Akers tackled him, got up in a second tackle. Big one there on Jai Farah. Got the ooze there from Simon Black. Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. Comes out near the interchange gates, and the umpire will come in again. 10-9, 69, 3-8, 26.
Jai Farah running off. It looks like an ankle. Hit his head hard on the ground, but he's okay.
Darcy in the ruck. Now Collier kicks off the ground. Frederick gathers really well. That kick off the side of the boot, though, is it going to stay in play? Well, Butterick got a hand to it and actually got over the boundary line. He thought it might have been out of bounds already when he touched it, but umpire said no, you forced it over. So it'll be a throw-in, 55 out from the Dockers goal. Most of your references are BT from 1960 or earlier anyway, so I don't know why the 85 or 6 thing bothers you. Mundy, quick kick inside forward 50. Suns have been really well on the defensive side of things, but on that occasion, the tackle was a ripper. And it's going to go to Rory Lobb.
Come in, Rory. Keep coming out more.
And he'll have a shot on goal.
Keep coming. Stand.
Only 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. No problems with the distance, even in these conditions. Get a few boos from the crowd just for the hell of it. Yeah, nice finish, Rory Lobb. Former GWS Giant, of course. And slots that one through for the Dockers. So they've made it look a little more respectable, their scoreboard, in this final term. They've kicked 2 goals. And they're now at 4-8-32. The Suns 10-9, 69. But this game is well and truly done and dusted, and the Suns are going to walk away with a win. 26 played, final term. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, where good food deserves a good drop.
So Alex Pearce off with that ankle injury, and let's hope he's okay. In terms of their next 3, they've got the Pies at home and then the blockbuster of round 11. Demons at the MCG. I think that's a Saturday afternoon. Then the Lions. So a couple of big games against top 4 opposition to come after that Collingwood game. So they'll lick their wounds. And hopefully in the next few weeks we see Nat Fyfe back in this lineup. Here is Darcy into space. Mundy flashing through. Buffeted off by Miller. Picked up by Brayshaw. Slaps it up towards the goal square. Getting across was Collins near the right forward pocket now, sliding in. Schultz tried to keep that ball alive. Off hands, out of bounds. Right forward pocket. Again, that score 10-9, 69. Fremantle 4-8-32. But the damage was done in that the second and third quarter for the Suns, where they kept them goalless. They kicked 2 goals in those 2 quarters of footy, champs.
Throw in.
2 points.
Darcy and Witts, Miller, couldn't quite gather the footage. Tap back towards him now again. That's been the option for the day, is kicking it off the ground. Kick out of the stoppage has gone out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in. 5 metres around from the left-hand point post inside the Dockers forward 50.
Freo had the 21 more inside 50s chance for the day, but the other key components around the game is the Gold Coast Suns clearances plus 15 and plus 21 contested ball. So the midfield of the Suns again have been superb, and the efficiency of Fremantle going forward has been very poor at only 33%, and the Suns 55%.
Well, there's another stoppage clearance for the Suns, Blackie, but now it spills towards Schultz, who gathers. He needs support. Collier gets it back towards Clark, who had a snap on goal. Was it marked before the goal line? Umpires are going to confer, so let's just wait and see what they've got to say here.
I believe it's a mark, and we said it was controlled before crossing the line.
All right.
Score review. Umpires calls a mark.
Okay, so umpire thinks it's a mark before the goal line. Either way, it's going to be a behind or a mark, because it wasn't actually through the goals. So we're only talking about a point here regardless, but I did think he marked it inside. He won't take too long to this. Ballard was the player who took the mark. He didn't juggle it, so that's not an issue. Let's move on pretty quick, guys. The game's done. So all good. It'll be a mark, you'd think. Let's move it on, peeps. Let's go. Time's a wasting. Time's money. Let's go. Bloody wet and rainy, and
You got to be somewhere, mate.
oh, not really, Blackie. Oh, really? Oh, go on. It's a bloody mark. Righto. Good. Let's do it. Here we go. Suns bring it out of defence.
So Ballard paid the mark.
We won't get that 30 seconds back.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, by the way, in Leon Cameron's farewell game. It's the Blues by 2 goals in the second quarter over the Giants. Ellis near the boundary, back at Misty Metricon as Collier goes off the deck near the pocket. Brennan Cox and Lemons are there. Goes over the boundary line, and we will do it again. Right forward pocket. Dockers attacking him.
What other iconic movies haven't you seen?
Dirty Dancing. Never put baby in the corner. Well, that's the problem. I know the scenes and what happens. So
No need to watch them, I wouldn't have thought.
no, I don't think there's any
Pretty
real
much.
twists I'm missing out on.
No, not really.
Patrick Swayze, one of your favourites, champs.
Yes.
Your inspiration.
Yes, he was.
He is the lead singer of the Filthy Animals.
So
Up.
Holman working hard. Chol applies some pressure. Probably didn't need to in the end. Aish whacks it across. Now here's the sub, Walker. Kick inside 50. Oh, Rory probably dropped one that he should have taken. It bounced off his chest. And the ball spills out towards outer side wing here. Walker was in pursuit. He's got fresh legs. That's pretty clear. And he's running on the footy, and he's bouncing around out there. You can see the other players are a little bit lethargic.
Yeah, I like his run, and if they had access to him during that third quarter, you know, if you're just able to activate your sub, if you haven't had any injuries after a half, I'm sure Justin Longmuir would have loved to have that at his disposal. Clark drives it long to left half forward. Here is Mundy as the Red Seas part for him. Erasmus kicked his first goal in league footy. The rare highlight for the Dockers today, as now Banfield comes out looking for Tracy. Slipped out of his grasp and then got a big bump from Witts. This action on the paint of the 50. Dockers end. Banfield threw the arms up, just let the ball go cleverly. Payne holding the man against, took Miller. Suns fans aren't happy. He will move it on as they complain. Tucker handballs it out wide. Flying shot on goal from Sarong. Is a behind. So 10-9-69 the Suns, 4-9-33 the Dockers. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard with just under 2 minutes remaining in this contest. A good win for the Suns on the way.
Ballard kicked the ball out towards Jeffrey. Young's got something to say about that for the Dockers. Got it back to Logue. Now the ball inside 50. Punched away by Ballard again. Ellis working hard, got 2 to beat. Does really well, actually. He won the footy in the end. Now the Dockers have got it back, though. Slippery footy to control. Young just puts it towards the top of the square for the Dockers. They fly for it. It comes to ground. Holding the ball, I think. Yep. It looks like Darcy was the big unit. He just took forever to get rid of it. And he didn't do it successfully or legally. And the Suns will take the free kick through Anderson.
Move it on.
So Anderson's had a good afternoon.
Yours.
kicked a goal. That's not his best.
Oh, yeah,
kick.
put the Moz on him.
Swings it out and it goes out of bounds on the full. I think everyone here is playing for full time.
Minute to go here, boys. Yeah, Gold Coast Suns. Tuke Miller led the way. 33 touches he's had. Noah Anderson's had 25. Will Power 21. Full Fremantle. I'll come back to you, BT.
Triple M Red Z lending stats. Loans for the self-employed. Big pack forms. Off hands. Miller swings it around. Another Red Z lending stat. Coming through from the side, Jeffrey. They'd like to get him a goal just toward the end of this match. Been quiet today, but as we said, conditions doesn't suit a player perhaps of his skill. He's been good form in the VFL as Sarong sends the Dockers now into attack, tracking near the boundary, and a few players sliding over. Will Brodie, what have his numbers been today for the Dockers there, Blackie? Triple M Red Z lending.
Yeah, he's had the 27. Griffin Logue's had 28 and Sarong's had 26. And the old boy, David Mundy's on 18.
So, speaking of which, Brodie's just slud into Tuke Miller, and Miller's got up very gingerly from that contest. He's slud, yeah.
Andrew Brayshaw, obviously been in red hot form, boys. He's on 25, so he's battled away. A lot of them are battled away, but just haven't been effective. A lot of these sort of kicks going inside forward 50. Another one here, high and long and high chance. Very hard for forwards in these conditions.
Yeah, well, quick kick here by the Suns, and Dockers have got 4 numbers. They should win this footy, and they do eventually through Chapman.
Off to Young. Young, a long handball. Forward to Brayshaw. Sends it out wide. And there is the siren for full time. I think both sides are happy with that final siren because it has been a slog. And look at everyone there just sitting on the ground. I think almost every Gold Coast Suns player is either sitting on the ground or has their hands on their hips or knees. But they've had a good win today. Triple M Amy review. Who covers clangers on and off the field? Amy does. Great win for the Gold Coast Suns. They are absolutely spent, as are the Dockers. The final score, 10-9-69. Fremantle, 4-9-33. Now, there's a bit of jump time in the last, 7 or 8 minutes there, champs, but they've done all the work in the lead up in a day that wasn't just tough because of the rain that came down, but very muggy as well, which just makes for a sapping afternoon.
Yeah, they were absolutely spent. Both teams were actually at the end of that, but they all got on their haunches, didn't they, once that final siren went. But hey, full credit to the Suns. They really worked at it, especially after quarter time. They looked all at sea there for the first turn. The Dockers were all over them. That's their best win for the season so far. I mean, they knocked off Carlton, of course. Last week they knocked off Sydney. They've been really, really good. So who knows what this will do for them. There's confidence and they'll be buoyant by this. So look out for their next couple of opponents. They will understand that they can actually put a good game together.
Yeah, well, they'd probably like a full 7-day break. They've got a 6-day break and they've got... the Bulldogs had a good win Friday night against the Pies. That's a Saturday afternoon early game at Ballarat next week. So that's going to be really tough. But they move to 4 and 5, the Suns. We'll take a look at the live ladder in a moment. In fact, with that win, they go up to 12. There's still a game outside the top 8 for the Dockers. They slip down to 3rd. Blues playing at the moment. But they should remain in 3rd, I think, going on their percentage. And then, of course, the Demons to play in the last game of the round against the Eagles. But Simon Black, good afternoon from the Suns today. And I think now we can say they are a different side to what we've seen in the past.
Yeah, they are. And full credit again to the Suns, the way they've gone about it. And their midfield in particular, Marby O'Chull up in the forward line kicking 4. He was superb. But, obviously in these sort of conditions today they've had on the Gold Coast, simple footy, hard, tough, contested footy, and that's what the Gold Coast Suns did really well. They won the contested ball, plus 17, clearances, plus 16. And the way they went forward, they scored at 56% when they went inside forward 50. That's a good number in dry conditions. So, let alone in these wet, slippery conditions, the Freo Dockers actually had 28 more inside forward 50s, which was 28, but they only went at 33% efficiency when they went in. So, they had 21 shots from 64 entries, which is very, very low. So, Yeah, the Gold Coast Suns defence stood up. We sung the praises of Sammy Collins, which we often do down here, and Ballard was good, and most of their defenders did their bit for the day. But the Gold Coast Suns battled hard. They're improving. They're on the right track. There's no doubt about that. They've shown a bit more consistency, and long way to go, obviously. But to take a big scalp today in the Freo Dockers is very pleasing.
Tough afternoon for the Dockers. Let's get an injury update for SKG Radiology, now bulk billing on all Medicare rebatable services. B, how are they doing down there after the game?
Well, remarkably, only Alex Pearce seems the only casualty from this game. He ended the game, of course, with ice on a right ankle and was subbed out of the game. Touk Miller took quite a heavy knock very late in that term, and the good news for Gold Coast Suns fans is that he just got a bit of a knock in the Jats crackers. Possibly not such good news for him, but he should be back next week.
Yeah, well, Alex Pearce came off for treatment last week against North Melbourne as well, so I don't know if he carried something into this game, a little bit sore, or maybe that's something new, but that's no doubt something they will keep a lookout during the week, champs. And as we mentioned, they've got a big few weeks coming up. They've got the Pies next Sunday. That's the late game, so they will use every second, every hour to recover from this and try and rebound at home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they will too. I mean, I think they've proved already that they're a class side this week. Everyone's going to be due for a rough day or a rough night at some stage, and they've been up for a long time.
6 on the trot. Yep, 6 wins. They've been up and about the Freo.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough to sustain that, Blackie. You know that. And it's it's a long trip over from the west. It's slippery, wet conditions. And once things started to go bad for them, it's really tough to come back from. So they'll lick their wounds and get back on top. I'm sure they're playing really good footy.
And they've still got, a couple of very more than handy players to come back. Michael Walters was out with COVID ISO health and safety this week. Nat Fyfe maybe a couple of weeks away, rejoin main training. So Freo can still get stronger, and because of all the players they've had in and out, they had half a dozen changes today, they've still got some guys who are yet to get some continuity in their season, Simon.
Well, can I just jump in there, BT? Dockers only had 5 players playing today who had played all 8 games.
Yeah, right.
The Suns had 13.
So that
has a massive impact. You just can't get momentum going when you're in and out of teams. So they had 6 changes last week, again 6 changes this week. So to get that continuity going, and you lose touch and fitness over a week, Blackie. It doesn't take much. That's your 5-10% of loss of fitness and touch that can make the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think the wet, slippery conditions can really test your hands, isn't it? I remember when you have a bye weekend, if you're not doing your touch work throughout that bye week, you can really be a little bit fumbly that next game first up. So, yeah, that's had an impact. I think for as you said, they've been up for a long time. They've got a big few weeks coming up. They've got some of the better teams in the competition coming up in the Brisbane Lions and the Melbourne Demons in the coming weeks. So it's going to be a good test for Freo to see where they're at litmus test wise. So, but there's some, they've been superb. Freo have been fantastic so far this year, but today was a down day, and let's see how they respond next week. Back at home. It's back at home. No, they're in Ballarat.
Yes, Suns at Ballarat, and the Dockers have got
back at home.
The Pies at home in the last game of next round.
Have you got to mention the other mob down the road, the Brisbane Lions? They were really good last night. They took a while to get going, and Adelaide did hit back, but they've now just lost the one game for the year as well, so sitting on 8-1. So their best start to the season for a while. Yeah,
well, when you talk about that battle for the best of the rest outside of Melbourne, because they've just been phenomenal so far, it's the Lions and the Dockers are right up there. And the Dockers having a loss this round. The Lions, you'd have to say, at the moment, given their finals history the past couple of years, would be the main contender for that deal.
Actually, I think it's their best start since Fitzroy days. Like we're talking maybe in the 40s or something.
I heard that last night, yeah.
Something
40s,
weird,
yeah.
right? Like back in the 1940s. So the Fitzroy Footy Club, they had a better start to the end. But since then, this is their best start. So it just really sets up a good season. So for footy in Queensland, they'd be really happy at the moment with the way both their teams are going.
All right, the Maccas, I'm loving it moment. Fitting that this man has it. It was Marbia Chol, lit up Metricon Stadium tonight. This happened in the fourth quarter. Here's how it was called on Triple M Footy.
there's a whistle on play, and play on says, Marbior Chol, this could be big Marbior. Oh, he sloughed the bloody handle on it. Kick your third, Marbior. He does.
He does.
Eventually, it took a lifetime. But he was running into the open goal. He got more excited than I did during that call. Lost the handle on it, regathered, and slotted it through for his third.
And he was the only key forward. I mean, Casbolt was handy, did a couple of things, but really the only key forward on the ground, Champs, was able to play to the conditions.
And he played well 4 contested marks early, and then at ground level he kicked a couple of goals on some really nice crumbing and just athletic work at ground level. So he was superb today, wasn't he? He certainly featured amongst the votes.
There was only 2 multiple goal scorers today, and they were both for the Suns. Him and Casbolt had 2. Marbior ended up with 4, by the way, and Casbolt 2.
All right, Blackie teased us there. Triple MVP award for homeloans.com.au. The best and fairest when it comes to home loans. Give us your 3, 2 and 1 today.
I'm on radio. Here we go. 1 vote. Noah Anderson. I thought he was fantastic for the Suns. He had 26 touches. He had 12 contested possessions. Kicked a goal. He was a workhorse around the middle of the ground. And the captain, Touk Miller, joint captain, he was fantastic. He gets the 2, 34 disposals, 17 contested possessions, 7 score involvements, 10 clearances. He was fantastic. Keeping on his great form. And the 3 votes to Big Marbior Chol. Fellas, he was superb. I think he was, I say the difference, but up in that forward line, he was such a presence, kicking the 4 goals, had the 4 contested marks as well. He was superb today, and I thought it was the best game I've seen him play.
Oh, you know what? I would like to see him just go back and really focus on his goal kicking, Blackie. Like, he had a couple of other opportunities to kick more. What did he end up with?
Yeah, 4 goals, 2.
4 goals, 2. He could have really had 6. He goes back and sort of makes it all about Marbior at some stages. Like, he just grabs the footy and struts back like, bit
of me time.
A little bit of me time. Rather than just turning around, walking backwards, soaking up what he's got ahead of him. How far is he out? Is there any wind conditions to think of? Instead of just getting back and then turning around last minute and having about 5 or 6 seconds to actually start his approach on goal. I reckon it's something that Stewie, I know you can't take that laconic nature out of someone like Marbior. I get that. But to improve his kicking and to improve his teammanship, I reckon, and team morale, I reckon it'd be wise to just have a whisper in his ear and just try that.
So Chol the 3, Miller 2, Noah Anderson the 1, Simon Black's votes, Triple MVP award for homeloans.com.au, the best and fairest when it comes to home loans. They might be sore, but they've just got enough energy to belt out their songs just watching on the monitor in the rooms here at Metricon Stadium. So that's going to give them the world of confidence, but as we spoke about, it's consistently, it's week in, week out, and
good
that's
win.
The brutal nature of AFL footy, Champs.
Really good win, BT. They'd be absolutely stoked. So well done to them. I'm not sure whether they're finals bound, but they are underway this year. They are big improvers. You asked the question before the start of this game, are they improvers? And they definitely are, and certainly based on that, that's been their biggest scalp for the year so far.
And as we said, so they should be. They're at 15 top 20 draft picks, the Gold Coast Suns. They've had enough of them, have played enough footy now to be consistent and to perform at a level that is required to win more games, really, than they lose. You can argue have they got enough goal scoring power and so forth, but they're starting to now turn the corner a little bit, and their efforts are more consistent. And today was another step in that journey to move forward as a footy club.
And a big tick today for Stuart Dew, his effort in the coach's box against Justin Longmuir.
Good call.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good call. I reckon that was a very good call by UBT. He did coach very well. He was up against it after the first term. They were nowhere near it, Blackie. And whatever he said, whatever he did, him and his coaching panel, they turned it around after quarter time.
They certainly did, and he lost an assistant too, as we heard, Reece Shaw. So Tom Beverley had to run the messages out, who is the Suns' media manager. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Leon Cameron's last game. His Giants are fighting. They're down by 11 points against the Blues in the second quarter. And of course, it is the Eagles and the Demons to finish the round in the last game of round 9.
That was big news for the week, Leon Cameron. Who'll get the Giants job?
Don't know, who you reckon?
Well, it's Clarko's if he wants.
Clarko's or Buckley. Will Buckley go back into coaching as early as next year?
I'll have to hear what Bucks has to say. Obviously the number 1 draft pick in terms of coaches would be Clarko. He said that he wants to go to a team who he believes he can guide to a premiership, not just the list, but also the way the club is built in terms of, do they have a stable board? do they have everything, sorted out off the field? So obviously that's hanging over Stuart Chew's head, but today certainly a step in the right direction just to quieten those voices coming out of Melbourne for the Gold Coast Suns. Move to 4 and 5, still a game outside the top 8. Back-to-back wins. The Dockers snapping a 6-game winning streak for them, but they'll dust themselves off, and they have got the Pies next week. Great work, champs.
Well done, mate.
And Blackie, well done to you as well. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, the Suns winning today by 36 points. Triple M rocks footy.